A little baby dragon here.
Thanks, Lauren, and thanks for walking us through that, because I think it's really important that people understand that critical safety capability, and that's the whole point when we hear that launch escape system is armed. What that means is that in an instant, they can separate from Falcon 9, shoot up into the air, and they can splash down safely in the Atlantic Ocean under Dragon's parachutes. And it was designed to do that. So now that fueling is underway, it's been going on for about 2 minutes now. So they have that safety capability ready to go on standby in an instant if they need it. And so we want to go over to Hawthorne now for an operational update from John in Sprecher. John?
Send fuel and stage 2 fuel, all flow rates tracking nominally.
We're at T-minus 32 minutes, counting down. These final minutes, everything's still looking good for Falcon 9 and Dragon for an on-time launch. Falcon 9 did begin propellant load at T-minus 35 minutes at planned. Now on the Falcon 9, we use a fuel and oxidizers, the propellants that power it. The fuel is commonly known as RP1. That's rocket propellant grade 1 kerosene. The oxidizer is densified liquid oxygen, also called LOX. Densified means it is kept much colder than typical for launch vehicles. This allows for more oxidizer to be loaded into the first and second stages. Now with the fuel and oxidizer on hand, we need an ignition source to complete that fire triangle, as we call it. For this, Falcon 9 uses a fluid called T-tub. It ignites in the presence of oxygen and gives off a green-colored flame. Now it's hard to see on the first stage ignition due to the water that'll be spraying on the pad, but you might just see the green flare as the second stage engine ignites following stage separation over 2.5 minutes into flight. Now currently first stage fuel tank is about 10% full. The first stage, as a reminder, as you look on the left side of your screens, the first stage is the long white cylinder at the bottom, topped off by the black cylinder. So over 2/3 of the rocket is that first stage. So the fuel tank is getting loaded. We're also loading the liquid oxygen into the first stage also. The second stage, which is the top 1/3 between the Dragon and the black cylinder, that's the white second stage, that is being loaded with fuel right now. That's about 8% loaded at this moment. Liquid oxygen loading is going to begin on second stage at T-minus 16 minutes 30 seconds. Liquid oxygen loading will continue on both stages all the way down to the last few minutes of the count. We're also loading helium into pressure vessels on the stages. That's used to pressurize tanks in flight as the propellant is pulled out by the strong Merlin turbopumps. On board the Dragon spacecraft, astronauts are monitoring systems while the propellant is loaded into Falcon 9. While we mentioned we had trained them with sounds that we had recorded on board. They've been through most of a propellant load, and they are now experiencing those sounds and vibrations.
Stage 1, cryo helium load started.
To report no problems. They are go to support launch. Weather, the last of the red conditions cleared up about 15 minutes ago. Everything is marginal but acceptable on the weather. We'll continue to watch all the way through the countdown. Now, as a reminder, today we are now into an instantaneous launch window now that we've begun propellant loading. So at this point, if we hear a hold for any reason, we'll have to stand down and target our backup launch opportunity tomorrow, May 31st.
Thanks, John. For Demo 2, Bob and Doug's flight to station will take about 19 hours, and their journey is fairly similar to the trip our cargo Dragon makes back and forth to the International Space Station, but with two noticeable differences, and that's docking and splashdown.
And as we await T-0 in just under 29 minutes from now, the ground operations teams are doing a series of system checks to make sure Dragon and Falcon 9 are both ready for liftoff. And we're continuing to get live views inside the capsule with Bob and Doug, and you're now also looking in firing room 4 down there at the Cape.
Once we hit T0 and a successful launch occurs, we will watch Falcon 9 and Dragon make their ascent until the Falcon 9 first and second stage separates and sends Dragon on its way to the space station.
And at this point, mission operators will prepare Dragon for on-orbit operations, where the vehicle will execute a series of burns that gradually raise its orbit to align more closely with the space station, as you can see in this animation. And just after putting Dragon into the same orbital plane as the station, the teams will get ready for Dragon's approach and docking maneuvers.
The next Dragon will make its approach and actually dock with the space station. And this is a very different process from what we've seen with Dragon cargo deliveries in the past, which use a process called berthing. Berthing requires a spacecraft to approach the station and then stop so a crew member can maneuver the station's robotic arm to capture the spacecraft. Docking on this version of Dragon can be done autonomously with no crew on board the station. It's typically a faster process, both when arriving and leaving, but it does still require pinpoint accuracy to approach safely.
Once captured, a spacecraft then gets attached to a common berthing mechanism, the same type of port that we use to connect each of the modules on the station together. It's a little bit slower of a process, but the hatches are significantly larger than the docking ports, which makes them perfect for bringing up those really big cargo items.
Dragon will spend up to 120 days docked before preparing to return home. Following successful completion of Dragon's test objectives and cargo loading operations, the crew will close the cabin, perform final system checks, and configure the vehicle for undocking. Once the automated undocking sequence is complete, Dragon will complete 2 departure burns using its Draco engines, pushing it away from the space station.
And then next up on the trip, deorbit entry and landing, or splashdown, which is going to cover all the operations following that final departure maneuver. It's going to include events like the trunk separation, closing of the nose cone, a deorbit burn, and then eventually as they get into the atmosphere, the deployment of the drogue and the main parachutes, and all of that ends with splashdown right off the Florida coast. At that point, teams from SpaceX will move in with their recovery ship, grab the capsule out of the water, and work to get Bob and Doug out of Dragon after a successful mission in space. So we are 26 minutes away from launch. Fueling of Falcon 9 is continuing. Let's check in one more time down with the team at Kennedy. Murray?
All right, thanks, Dan. We are so pumped right now because things have cleared up and it looks like we might actually do this today. If you're just joining us, we are now 25 minutes, 46 seconds and counting from the first launch of astronauts to the International Space Station from U.S. soil in 9 years. This will mark the beginning of a new era where more people will be able to fly to space than ever before. And we want to share with you the results of a poll we asked a little earlier. If you could go to the moon, now it's not where the astronauts are going today, they're going to the space station, but if you could go to the moon, would you rather visit the South Pole where no one has been before or the Apollo 11 landing site? And it was a pretty even split. We had 46% of you say you would go to the moon's South Pole, and 54% of you would go to the Apollo 11 landing site. I kind of side with the Apollo 11 landing site because I'm a history buff and I want to see where Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin set foot. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Lauren, which place would you go?
I'm with you on that one, and I would love to go see that flag there and those footsteps, those footprints there. Still be there, right? There's no wind up
Should
there.
still be there. Leland, how about you?
I think I'm with both of you because it's just like, the meatball, the classic.
Yeah.
Going to the classic spot, and that's where all of it started. That's where all that inspiration came, even though I was an antenna engineer not seeing it. But besides that, that's history.
And hopefully, maybe.
Man, I knew I'd mess that up. What's going on, guys? Excalibur here, and we are back with the Designers Challenge for May 2020. Today we're going to be looking at some really cool builds. I'm really looking forward to this one. Inspiration builds that you take a past build, something that you saw back in the day, something recently that really inspired you to want to build something, to kind of pivot in your style, to start from scratch, and build something that kind of pays tribute to it, replicates it in some way. However you guys went with it, I kept it pretty open. It doesn't have to be a direct translation as to what the build is, but at least gives an ode to the original design. So hope everybody's doing good. And up in the top here, I am doing the SpaceX launch. I don't think audio is on it, right? Shouldn't be. Audio is muted, but yeah, we'll keep an eye on that, and I'll probably unmute like when it goes to launch time here. So we'll try to time it. Just somebody yell like Jet Set in chat here. What's up, Jet Set? How you doing, man?
Hey, how you doing?
So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what we got here. So we did have a bit of a little bit of a miscommunication this month as far as what version of the game you guys were going to build in. So a lot of people built in Alpha 12 Experimental. Now, for future reference, I never, ever, ever, ever do challenges in Experimental. So anytime in the future that you guys are doing a build for the challenge, just know that it's always in the current patch. Now, if it's a situation where, I don't know, the next patch is in 2 days or something, I would make that announcement separately. But I always do the challenges in the present patch, so you guys know that for future reference. But yeah, I don't participate in experimentals mainly. I like to wait until the dust settles and kind of see what's happening as far as settings change, lots of things change. In experimental, so I don't really like messing with it, especially from a building perspective. It'll just drive you nuts, as some of you have probably noticed. So yeah, so because of that, we're going to be doing all the Alpha 12 builds next week, when hopefully the actual stable will launch. If it doesn't, I'll join experimental and we'll show them there. Whichever the case, we'll get those shown as well. We also have a special scenario that Scarly's been working on that we're going to be looking at next week as well, so looking forward to seeing that. I hope everybody's doing good. What's going on, Annie, Stubert, Scarly? Hope you guys are all doing good. Hope everybody's doing good. I know a lot of people are probably tuned into the launch, and I completely understand that. I would have liked a phone call. Maybe they could have scheduled it around my stream a bit better, but whatever. I'm not going to take it as a personal shot. But I mean, but yeah, so yeah, I think without further ado here, let's kind of get started here. Give me a second. That's why you got 2 monitors. There you go, Bullet. That's what I'm talking about. Cool. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it here. Also, I will be announcing the next month's challenge today as well. So it's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be a little bit of a it'll be a joy to some people, and it'll be really hard for some other people. So I'm looking forward to seeing some people kind of squirm a little bit. I wanted to do a Alpha 12 exclusive challenge this month. I wanted to do something that would be unique to kind of promote Alpha 12. But because it's not out yet, I'm not really comfortable kind of doing that yet, because it might be a week or two even before that's launched or something. And I don't want to. It could be tomorrow. I don't know. So you know what I mean? Like, I'm uncertain about that, so I don't really want to. I don't really want to do that right now.
No. Just to be clear, no. You might have gone from the camera,
I'm back.
but
What happened? I just kind of launched there. Yeah. What was I saying? I I forget what I was even saying. Jesus. All right, so
Alpha 12, next challenge. Not going to do it in Alpha 12 because you don't know when the launch date is.
yeah, and really my idea for the next month's challenge will be fine in Alpha 12 anyway. So that's why I picked it. It's just going to be something that's going to work in either one. So no singing. Sorry, buddy. All right, so let's go ahead and get through it here. So for our first build, and again, guys, so this is this month we did builds that were you built something that inspired you from a previous build that you used back in the day, something that maybe started you building, something that changed, you know, a style for you, or it's hard to explain. It's hard to kind of put into words what I'm looking for, but you guys understood. So let's go ahead and first one is going to be by Splashdown. So first what we're going to do is we're going to look at the original, and then we're going to look at your design based off of the original. So first we're going to look at the original, which was by Siege. I assume it's a CV. Is that a column that I hid by mistake? I don't think it was there anyway. All right, so Argos Explorer. I'll just type in here. That's easy enough. So it's also cool this month is we get to see some older builds, some older legendary builds here, which is kind of cool. Yeah, that warning sucks, right? It happens a lot, man. Yeah, so this is the original Argos Explorer starter CP, and this is by Siege. And it's been out for a while. I want to say Alpha 7, Alpha 6. It's been around for a while.
Originally posted on the 8th of December 2017.
Ah, nice. So maybe Alpha 8? Maybe, no, Alpha 7. Probably Alpha 7.
7.
Yeah. So nice little starter CV here. Bridge, we got some cargo boxes, which, boy, like, you could fit the entire planet in these two boxes probably back then, right? So you know, things have changed considerably, and it's always fun to go into your comments on the workshop. Like just today, I had a comment about the original K-Bar land assault HV that I built a couple years back, and he's like, "This thing won't move. What's going on? Why won't it move?" And it's like, it's old, man. I'm sorry, I can't keep up with development. What's up, Raptor, with that tier 1 13th month resub? Thank you, sir. As well as Stubert before the stream with a 15th month resub. So appreciate you guys as always. XBCers for over a year, which is freaking awesome. I appreciate you guys as always. So yeah, I mean, just, you know, the old school ammo box here, the plenty of cargo, man. Plenty of room to walk around in here, and plenty of passenger seats. It's definitely for some multiplayer action here. We've got a med station. See, Siege knows, man. Even back then, dude, we didn't mix the clones and the medic stations, you know? We only needed one. Engine compartment hazard warning. Some cool little RP action here. Very nice. Well, I mean, that's real. Like, it will actually radiate here, so. Not really roleplay. That's some real gameplay stuff right there. So, yeah, pretty straightforward starter CV for multiplayer. You know, you have your entrance on the front here, which is really cool. And yeah, that's all there is to it. And that is by Siege, and that is the Argo Explorer. So now we're gonna look at Splashdown's interpretation, or his inspiration build based off of this. So he went for a slightly different color palette. This thing's incredible, man. Look at this. I don't even know what's going on there with that LCD stuff. That is crazy, man. It's got decals and stuff. Wow. Argos Explorer Next Generation. definitely kept the essence of the vessel. He's added some shaping. You know, a lot of these shapes weren't available back then, right? So like these like wall plating and these like really thin blocks and curvy blocks and stuff. A lot of this stuff wasn't possible back then. So it's kind of really cool to see, you know, the progression of the building development in the game and kind of what's possible now from, you know, what was possible back then. Just, you know, a lot of character. You know, the texturing, the asymmetry, you know, there's some really cool stuff here that just kind of adds to it and gives it that interesting look, you know. And that's the thing, you know, back in the day, I mean, it was so hit or miss back then as to, you know, what builds you got off the workshop that would actually work. And honestly, there wasn't as many obstacles back then. There wasn't CPU, there wasn't weights and volumes, there wasn't, you know, there wasn't a lot of these cargo things and stuff. So really, I mean, it didn't take much for a build to be functional, per se. But still, a lot of the time, like, they just weren't airtight, they weren't this and that. You couldn't really depend, you know, there wasn't as much branding, I guess, as there is now. That's probably the best way to explain it. Like, now, you have a lot of builders, and you know, they're consistent. You know what you're going to get when you download a J Randall build or a Crazy Z build or a Bullet Magnet build or a, you know, whatever, right? Like you know what you're going to get. You're going to get a certain amount of quality. You know already that they're going to take certain effort to make sure things work. They're airtight. There's enough cargo. There's enough generators. There's enough all these things, right? People are paying attention to that now. But back then you had no idea. Some builds were from ancient times and Alpha 3, Alpha 4, and like you just didn't know what you were going to get. And you had a few people that you can kind of depend on, builders that you knew took the time to kind of take care of all that stuff. And Siege was definitely one of them. Yeah, so I mean, it's really cool to, like, you know, to see that now, boy, you put something on the workshop, it's got to have enough generators, it's got to have the ability to be in 2G, it's got to, you know, it's got all these things that have to happen now for a build to kind of work, which is, you know, it's a big problem with the workshop in general. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to soapbox here. The workshop definitely needs an overhaul. We definitely need checkboxes. We need a way to kind of sort through compatibility, because planets now have their own compatibility, and there needs to be builds that can be formulated on the workshop specifically for those tasks, like the higher gravity and you know, stuff like that. So, but yeah, let's take a look inside here. Oh, that's cool. See how he's using some of the he always likes to kind of do these like worn, weathered look on the thing, and I think it's really cool. I think it really kind of adds to the character of the actual build, you know? It feels like a singular ship rather than a production line of ships. It feels like this is the one, this is the Argo Explorer used by so-and-so, and you know, it just, you feel kind of an attachment to the build itself. It's pretty cool. I want to see where you get in here. So I'm assuming maybe the same place as the original. Nope. So it doesn't have a frontal. I see the asymmetrical piping and stuff. That's really cool. Am I losing my mind? Where is entrance? Entrance, present yourself. Oh, arrow. Oh, right, those landing thingies. There we go. Okay, nice. So again, like, this wasn't available back then, right? And it's cool. It's cool to see how things are progressing in development. So straight away, really cool. Right to the cockpit. Like, you know, we're not messing around. Like, you get in, you can go, and that's really cool for a starter vehicle, right? A starter CV, you know, things are still important to you. Everything you own is still important to you. You know, if you got to get out of Dodge, that's awesome that you can jump in and just take right off, you know, so that's really cool. We have a power save option. We have input and output fridges, which is cool. We've got a repair station. We've got a armor locker. We've got some 24,000 output cargo. We've got an input of 40K on here. Future placement for deconstructor. Wait, what? Oh, deconstruct later. Oh, makes sense. Okay, so you get some really cool thrusters or something. I was like, wait a minute, because I haven't been following Alpha 12. I'm like, wait, deconstructors are a thing in CVs now? I'm like, really? Yeah, that's cool. I know what the next challenge is gonna be, but yeah, no. Input, you know, take a point to the lighting here. Splashdown loves the purples and kind of this. What would you call this? What'd you call this, Jet Set? What color green is this? Like a teal or a lima bean green? Like what would you call this? Mint green maybe? Pastel green?
Mint.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. So this takes you right here where you got your SV. So very straightforward again. You do have some boxes here, which is cool. And then you come back here into engineering, and wow, this thing's got a shield, guys. This thing's got a shield. It's got warp capability. It's got, you know, big old generator. And just look at the visual. I mean, look at the visibility here with the front. I mean, that's a lot of visibility. You know, you get in and, you know, you've got the ability to kind of see all the way around and everything. That's really cool. Before we fly here, I want to and one thing I won't do as well is I'm not going to drive the originals. A lot of the originals, due to CPU, they won't move, and that's not their fault, right? So I'm not going to be driving any of the original builds because of that. But we are going to take a look at the original build as far as how it stacks up to the present settings. So obviously, right, the efficiency level here is 54%. And that's because nothing's installed, right? But it's 275, so it would be a tier 2, which is fine. I mean, that's fine for a starter CV, so it definitely falls in line based on what equipment it has and whatnot. The RCSs you could take out and boom, it'd be like a tier 1. It wouldn't matter, so that's really cool. Let's take a look at Splashdown's version here. So this is a tier 2 as well. So 303,908 CPU. No RCS. We've got some medium thrusters and whatnot are kind of the biggest offenders. The shield has been cut down considerably, which is pretty remarkable. That got a big change recently or something, because I remember that being a whole lot more CPU. So that's cool. You got one, Tim? Nice. Tim got a freaking Kraken. Very cool, man. Oh, that is awesome. How we doing on the SpaceX launch? I actually can't see the screen right now, so I can't even tell.
It's 5 minutes 11 seconds.
Oh, nice. All right. Yeah, Star Citizen jet, definitely. That is one of the big like carriers. So now for Interstellar Kinetics, which is our official Anvil corporation for Star Citizen, we have a Kraken. That is freaking awesome. So big shout out to Tim. Very cool. Congrats, man. Hey, Siege, right in time, man. Right in time for your build. Well, your original build and Splashdown's new version of it, which is what we've just been looking at. So. Yeah, I mean, this thing takes right freaking off. Yeah, it flies great. I mean, it's got really good thrust all the way around. This is a solid starter. Definitely in the essence of the original. Performs as planned. We will take a second to watch the official launch here.
Wish 'em luck, guys.
Coming
This is
off of
breaking
the
history.
strongback, that'll be normal.
this
That'll
is
happen
breaking
around
history, guys. This
Transitioning
is
to
T
internal
minus
power.
1
incredible
minute and
stuff.
40 seconds. We're
Shout
going
out
on
to the whole
internal power
SpaceX
now.
crew.
Just a few seconds away from the stage 2 LOX load being complete. It's been almost 9 years since we've been in this position. A lot of work done by thousands of people to get to this point. All our eyes focused on 2 now.
Time goes so slowly when you start looking at it.
I know, it's this.
Stage 2 LOX load is closed out. Propellant fills are complete. Dragon is in auto idle.
Stage 2 LOX load complete. All fuel, all
cool, Tim.
Oxidizer on Falcon 9. 1 minute,
So you
34
kind of
seconds to
invested
go
in
till
this
launch.
launch then, Tim, I take it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Ground gas closeouts is starting.
It's stupid. Believe me, my voice would not be tribute to something like this.
Yeah, guys, we are witnessing history here. Glad to share it with you all. Very
Falcon 9
cool.
is in startup. Dragon is in countdown. FTS is armed for launch.
Under a minute now, the FTS, the flight termination system, has been armed.
Dragon, SpaceX, go for launch.
SpaceX Dragon, we're go for launch. Let's light this candle.
T-minus 30
T-minus
seconds to
30
launch.
seconds.
Stage 1 tanks pressing for flight.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff of the Falcon 9 and Crew Dragon. Go NASA, go SpaceX, Godspeed, Bob and Doug.
America has launched.
One Alpha.
And so rises a new era of American spaceflight,
Stage 1
and with
propulsion
it
is
the
nominal.
ambitions of a new generation continuing the dream. 20 seconds into flight, stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
T plus 30 seconds into this historic mission. Flying crew on board Dragon and
First 30
Falcon 9,
seconds
and
gone,
look at
that's
them
one of the
go.
next steps.
Falcon power telemetry nominal.
M1D throttle down.
We're throttling down to get ready for the period of maximum dynamic pressure. We're in the throttle
How
locker.
many flat earthers are waiting for this to hit the dome?
Reports say all systems are go.
Vehicle is supersonic.
We've exceeded Mach 1 on the Falcon 9.
M1D throttle up.
We're throttling back up to full power as we're through
Bravo.
max Q.
Copy, 1 Bravo.
It We heard that one Bravo call out. That's just the second
lot of
abort zone
promethium.
that they're in. They'll continue to be on this until the first stage has done its job and they switch over to the second. At this point, Bob and Doug pulling about 2.3 Gs, 2.3 times the Earth's gravity, already moving at over 1,500 miles per hour.
Just about the edge
You've
of
heard the call out
camera's
for
performance
MVAC engine chill. That's getting the MVAC engine ready to light. That'll come at about 2:44 into flight. Right now, everything continuing to look good. Next major event
iPhone 7.
coming up is going to be the triple. We'll have main engine cutoff of the 9 first stage engines, stage separation, and then ignition of the second stage engine to continue to carry astronauts into orbit.
It's got a docking computer, Tim. They don't have to worry
Coming
about
up in
that
about
either.
20 seconds.
M1D throttle down.
We heard we're throttling down the Merlin engines on the first stage.
That's some really good Wi-Fi.
And we have Miko.
Miko.
2 Alpha.
Falcon stage separation confirmed.
Copy 2 Alpha.
That's awesome.
MVAC ignition.
All right, we have stage separation confirmed. The first stage beginning its flight back. The second stage being powered by that single Merlin 1D vacuum engine has ignited and is now carrying Bob and Doug into orbit. So they're going to continue under the power of this second
Stage
stage,
2 propulsion is nominal.
which will cut off at SECO, or second engine cutoff, at about 8 minutes and 44 seconds into today's flight. So a little over 5 minutes to go still on this second stage. You heard the call out to Alpha, so they're now in the longest abort zone that carries them all the way from about North Carolina up the eastern seaboard, almost to Canada. Things looking good, though, getting good call outs, nominal propulsion on that second
It looks
stage.
a bit dodgy. That's got to be
continuing to
fisheye
make their way
lens
into
problem.
orbit.
See, look, it's flat. There, it's curved.
Dragon SpaceX nominal trajectory.
Flat again.
Acquisition of signal in Bermuda.
SpaceX Dragon nominal trajectory.
All right, here in nominal
That looks
trajectories,
like
the
a,
Dragon pointed in
yeah,
the right direction,
successful
continuing
launch.
to make their flight uphill. Heard acquisition of signal Bermuda. That's one of the other ground stations that they're using to get telemetry and data back from this spacecraft.
Stage 2 propulsion is still nominal.
Very, very cool, man. That is freaking awesome. Cool. Keep an eye on that up in the corner there, and we're gonna continue forward here.
A little over 4 minutes, 40 seconds.
Yeah, sorry,
into the
Salute the
flight.
Core, not to overshadow
Bob and Doug
your build
flying
with
at more
the
than 5,600
the
miles
Dragon
per
SpaceX
hour.
private
nominal
launch in
trajectory.
space, but I guess it's a good
Already
thing to
almost 200 miles
to be
down
interrupted
from
by.
the Kennedy
But
Space
very
Center.
cool, man.
Nominal
What a
trajectory.
cool build. This
Continuing.
is the Argo Explorer Starter CV. Argo Explorer NG CV, and this is by Salustacor, and this is a direct inspiration from the original Argos Explorer Starter CV by C. So very cool work, man. And very functional,
while they
man.
continue
Looks like
uphill,
that's
looks
going
like
to
we
be
are
a
getting a view of
stellar
the
starter
first stage
CV to
as
use
well.
in your game.
Yep, on your right screen, you can see that first stage with the grid fins deployed. It's making its way back to attempt to land
All right,
on
so that's
our
going to
drone
bring
ship.
us to
Of
our
course,
next
I still
build here,
love
and
you
this
today.
is by Annie Noem.
We're just about a
And this
minute,
is a
couple minutes
Merc
away
tribute
from
to
the
the
entry
original
burn,
Merc
and that's where
MX-8
three
by,
of the 9 Merlin
this is
engines
Jeff.
do
You know
ignite
what,
to
Jeff?
help slow the vehicle down as it re-enters back into the Earth's
Jeff,
atmosphere.
I don't know. Maybe we'll
And then
see it when we-
after the entry burn will be the landing burn,
And
which is just a single
Dragon
engine.
SpaceX nominal trajectory.
And you heard
Nominal
Starting
trajectory.
chill.
He's what? He's what
as
now?
I call out, they are still on a nominal
was saying
trajectory
about the- I
on
think
Oh!
Dragon-
Yeah, let me turn it
still
on.
on second stage, and
I
that's
can't
that.
hear it because I'm over in Discord chat. So
Thank you, thank you. Oh, I messed up everything. There we go. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. Forgot that the YouTube thing was broadcasting, because I don't hear that, so it only goes through OBS, and you guys hear that. All right, so this is the Merc Tribute. Well, first we're going to look at the original MX-8. And I definitely got a thing or two to say about this build here. This is the first J. Randall build that I ever used, that I ever saw. This was the, it looked like a fighter plane back then. I mean, it was amazing, when you saw a bunch of things in the workshop that, why isn't it showing? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, like you saw a bunch of things in the workshop that looked like big squares and bricks and stuff, and then you saw this thing, and Jay Randall would probably look at this now and be like, "Oh God," But this was amazing back then, man. This was something else back in the day, dude. I've done a couple iterations of this build. I've done one with a rear cockpit. I loved this thing, man. I thought I was so cool when I redid the inside. I was like, man, I'm on my way, man. I did it. But yeah, this was really cool back then, man. It had everything you needed, You had some cargo boxes. That's all you needed back then. Have as many constructors as you want. It makes no difference. No CPU, no weight, no nothing. It's cool. Take them all. Just process something in each one individually. And yeah, I mean, he had little things like this, which you didn't always see in builds back then, was, access to the cockpit from inside. So a little bit of forethought. But just the militarized look of it, me being ex-military and everything, I really like that. I was like, and yeah, I mean, let's pull out the, because even back then you didn't have these things starting inside like they do now, which is kind of weird, I think. But a build's old when you got to pull the weapons out. But yeah, this was so cool back then, and it still is. It still holds up, man. This is a really cool SV, and that's the original MX-8 by Jay Randall. And now we're gonna look at the build that Annie did here to pay tribute to it. Officially, the Merc Tribute. Wow. Merc T, look at this thing. Wow. Wow. Pull the weapons out. I wish I could move slower. I know Crazy Z knows how to do that with a controller or something. I don't know how to do that, so I just spin really fast around this thing. Trying to get the dramatic, yeah, dude. The colors are on point. That's definitely original Merc color scheme here. We got the J. Randall radar on the top just because. Oh yeah, man. Some really cool shaping here. Very visible cockpit. Lots of weapons going on here. We got rockets. We got Gatlings. Yeah. This thing looks like it's got an ample amount of thrust. Got some additional visibility here of the warp drive. That's really cool. Some cool shaping up here. Kind of in line with stuff. Just some nice insets and some nice texturing. Definitely, yeah, definitely J. Randall type texturing here with some of it. Oh, let's take a look underneath here. I'm gonna pull this out without kind of giving away too much here. Let's see the bottom of this. Yeah, look at that. Wow. That's cool. A lot of creativity on the bottom here. Lots of flashing and stroby things. The thrusters are really cool too, like the way he's kind of made the, I mean, this all looks like part of the thruster, whereas the thruster is just kind of that one part there. That's cool. Just the right amount of glowies, not too many. Yeah, the lights are awesome. Elion, please give us clear windows. You know what I mean? Like, oh, give us window blocks, please. All right, let's go inside here. Lots of detail, man. Just the amount of detail in this is incredible. Oxygen station, armor locker. Roof hatch options here. Nice, we got the drone hatch. Sorry, God mode, sorry guy. Then we've got the sunroof, that's cool. So if you just want to have a look-see without actually exposing yourself to the elements, there you go. That's cool. That's really cool. I love the inside. Wow, look at the detail on this. This is incredible. Jesus. Yeah, dude, this is a high level of detail here. Jesus. Cool LCD, man. Lots of information here. Wow. Wow, a lot of cargo too. 10,000 on each. Jeez, 25,000 cargo on this thing? That's incredible. I love this. I love how this kind of opens up here and it just, yeah. Non-perishables, fridge, medical locker. Oh, it's you know, these transparent LCDs or whatever, these like projection LCDs are really cool because they give you all these cool options for texturing behind it. And it just makes it look different, you know? Like it doesn't look like a screen, like it just looks like something else. I don't know, it's cool. And then what we saw Salustakor do earlier with the he actually does it on the side of the build and it's just really cool, man. Long range explorer. 14. Def 9000. Very cool, man. Very cool. That's cool. Manual access to everything. Wow, just a lot of detail. A lot of really cool lighting cues and shaping cues and stuff. Like, it feels very, very unique. I don't want to say alien. It doesn't feel alien. It just feels, you know, like a... I don't know. It's just... It feels very sci-fi-y. Like, in a good way. Like, really cool. Weapons offline, shields offline. Weapons, shields are online. What are we talking about? Make it do the cool online thingy. Wait, do I have the, Yeah, I do. Is it me or is it... Oh, okay, it's just really tinted. Use the shortcuts. Use the shortcuts. Oh. Oh, mind blown. Sorry. Oh, shit. Okay, missile lock. What? Oh, that's cool, man. Alright, I'm a jerk. I'm a big old jerk. What? Full internal lights. Lockdown Oh, I did see something about a lockdown procedure. Let's look at that. Lockdown procedure. Lockdown mode active. Automatic door sensor disconnected. Dude, that's sweet. I'm like under advertising the awesomeness here. I'm sorry. Oh, this is cool, man. Did not come with ammo though. Got a really high turning radius. Like I usually in third person, I usually do like the button for turning left and right, and I mean you could see how fast it could turn here. This is cool. Barrel roll. So really, really good maneuverability here.
Has Annie got the tint the right way around?
Yeah, I think. Well. No, he doesn't. No wonder it was hard to see. Was that on purpose?
Yeah, you could see in better than you could see out. That was the hidden. You said it was designed like that.
Oh, okay, that was on purpose. That makes sense. It makes sense to not be able to see that well when you're flying. I get that.
The pilot getting dazzled.
Right? Yeah, just great maneuverability, great function. It's got some really cool RP stuff here, some really cool visibility stuff. It's weird. Are they trying to sell that the flight controller HUD is like part of your helmet when you're flying? Like, why does it follow with me? Is that what they're going for? It's some projection onto your helmet? That's what I would say if I was the dev team.
Head-up display.
What's that?
HUD does mean heads-up display.
Ah. Oh, right.
And there's a lot of the sort of new generation fighters and stuff that actually have it on there, so yeah.
Where is the, Damn it, I've lost the landing pad. Thing's too much fun to fly. I got carried away here. Where'd it go? Where are we? Hey, Dragon, what's up, man? Yeah, definitely a lot of care was put into this build. I mean, just to get kind of that style. Because, you know, Annie's style is definitely a bit different. Texturing-wise, color-wise, you know, he likes to incorporate a lot of colors and stuff in his build. So it's really cool that you took the time to kind of do that, to pay homage to the original here. Oh, I parked a little far away.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Yeah, right? Very cool, man. What a cool build, man. So this is the Merc Tribute by Annie No Aim. It is a direct inspiration to the Merc MX-8 by Jay Randall. Hey, Adam, what's up, man? Very cool, Annie. That's awesome, man. Very nice, very nice. All right, and that's gonna bring. Yeah, we're gonna do my build now. So yeah. So I actually posted my build on the workshop before the stream. I want to get credit for that because I don't think I've done that in like a year or something. Honestly, I don't think I've put anything on the workshop off the Designer's Challenge for a long time either. I mean, I did do the Merc Challenge thing. Not the Merc, the Mark II Challenge. But yeah, I'm actually back in business, man. We're building again. Like, I'm excited. I'm excited to do a lot of builds here. So, I want to say it was painful. It was very painful to do the whole workshop thing. Ugh, I hate it, man. I hate the typing. I hate the pictures, and it's even worse now. Like, man, it used to work to just put up some pictures and and put my little Photoshop title on it, and boom. Like, this is back when Jay Randall didn't even know how to do that. Like, he was just putting screenshots up. I'm like, Jay Randall, you got to put like the name of the build on the front. And he's like, I don't know how to do that. I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna spend 5 hours doing really cool screenshots. I'm like, all right, well, cool. And I thought I was like a step ahead, but now you got to have a whole production team to put shit on the workshop. Like, you guys are doing movies and lighting cues and flashes. Like, freaking Crazy Z, I saw the thing he's got in the workshop today, and it's like this crazy flamey thing. I don't even know how he did that. Probably some, I don't know how he did that. I still don't know. If you explained it to me, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. It looks incredible. It looks amazing. So I don't know. I can't even compete with that. So I'm not even going to try. So now it's like me and Jay Randall have traded places. Now I'm not doing any of the fancy stuff. Here's my build. Have at it. But yeah, so without further ado, let's look at my build here. First, we're going to look at the original Chimera. Am I pronouncing that right? Chimera? I never know how to pronounce things, but what's that?
Chimera.
Chimera, thanks. Holy crap. All right, this whole time I've been saying Chimera. All right, Chimera. Cool. That sounds better. That actually even sounds better. Makes it even cooler. So like I said, the MX-8 was my first the first build of Jay Reynolds that caught my eye, right? But this build, I saw this, I think he released it like right as I was starting to play. And I saw this thing and I was blown away. It was like, it wasn't even of this game. It was like, how is it possible to make something look like this with these simple blocks that they gave us? And really, it was this stance that sold it for me. It looks like it's straight out of like an anime or something. It looks like some crazy like Voltron thing, like, about to leap at something and pounce on it. Like, it was incredible. And I was like, oh my God, like, how did he do this? And I took this thing off the workshop and I took it apart block by block. I literally like reverse engineered this thing. I wanted to figure out how he did the different shapes and the different transitions. And, all of these transitions are what I use now in building, these 22 degrees and the 45 degrees and the way he got this wing to look the way it is and these kind of legs going back. Like, it was incredible. Back then you had the worst looking thrusters, right? So this thing even gotten a facelift based on development, right? With the new thrusters. Hush Dispatch with that 9-month resub. Thank you, sir. Freaking awesome. And then really the way that all these weapons were like in the arms, just kind of like, just so like, I don't know, man, just some Voltron shit, dude. Like, it was amazing. And just the stance of it and the way he's got these shoulders with like guns kind of like forward, and it blew my mind back then, man. It was like, and not only that, but the thing's functional. You go in here and it's like, you got everything you need in here. And this, probably Jay Randall, 0G, and I guess like Piston back then, and those were the three that I could depend on to have everything you need function-wise in-game while still having really cool-looking builds. And you can count on it. You could count that there's going to be airtight. You can count that there's going to be an ammo box, that there's going to be, warp drive, that there's going to be, cargo, whatever, right? Like, you can count on all that being in these builds. So it was so cool. It's like, it was like fresh off the assembly line, and you just put this into your game, and yeah, you just go for it, man. And it was so much fun playing in this. And this is the build that got me started. And I actually, you know what? Let me do that real quick. I'm gonna show you exactly what I built right after I saw this thing, so you guys could laugh. And I think I've shown this in game before, but yeah. So I saw that, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna build something like that. And this is what I came up with. This is literally like me going, oh, I could build cool stuff too. And just look at this, guys. I mean, this is me not knowing shaping, me not knowing transitions. I was like, let's put this really cool thruster up here, and let's put some seats in here right next to generators and a warp drive. Radiation's cool, just like, but that's it, man. Like, it started me on a path to build, and yeah, So, you know, because of this, I've decided to do the Chimera X, which is my interpretation. Now, this was built from the ground up, from a starter block. You know, I didn't take that and build on it, so it's actually longer. It's a bigger frame. But I gotta say, man, this build was I've enjoyed building this more than I've enjoyed building anything in probably the last 6 months. Like, I had a lot of fun building this thing. I took a lot of time with the shaping and trying to get the essence of it, and trying to also maybe amplify the animated aspect of it, I guess. I can't talk today. I tried to incorporate a lot of detail and complexity. I tried to step up, you know, as far as kind of the detail work of like, you know, like Kithid and T-Rex and NMK and some of these guys with these incredible detailed thruster modules, and you know, I tried to kind of incorporate all that in this build as much as I could, and I'm really happy with it. I also went through a long thing where I was trying to do the matte carpet finish on half of this, and I ended up going with the metal. I just think it looked better at the end. The different shades, I mean, you could color it differently and it would look good, but I opted for the darker look. But yeah, just the shaping. I spent a long time on the shaping on this, trying to get it looking interesting with like the back here, and you know, it's got everything. It's a unlock level 20, size class 2. It falls right at the max of CPU 4. It's actually 99% inefficient, so, or efficient rather. So I had to add something that made it that way. I forget what I think it was the Pentaxid tank that I forgot at the end there. Thanks, Jay. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I had a lot of fun building this, man. This made me, you know, I originally had railguns on these 4, and yeah, no, CPU didn't like that, so I had to take all the railguns off. But, you know, you could definitely add weapons there if you wanted to, if you don't play within CPU, or you can change them out or whatever you want. And go inside here. I kept it pretty simple on the inside as well. You know, you've got all your basic amenities here. You've got your CPU blocks. You've got 2 ammo containers, 1250 each. And I got my little plaque here, the ship that made Excalibur build. Dude, I actually asked Jay Randall with help with the LCD stuff, and he told me something and it went right over my head, so I didn't do any LCD work. Insert your own if you want it. Have at it. I didn't do it. It's got a big drone hatch here. Thanks, Heck, and I appreciate that, man. So it's got an internal, external cockpit. You have access to it up there. It's got the one constructor. I had 2, but it went over CPU, so. This thing's got a lot of giddy up, though, forward to back. It doesn't have a lot of pitch, though. And it comes with rockets. Haha. Haha. Hey, Keith, what's up, man? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, it was a great opportunity to go back and pay homage to this incredible build. And I remember asking, I think I asked Jay Randall like a long time ago. I was like, dude, are you ever gonna like update the Chimera? I probably said Chimera at that time, but Chimera. And he was like, oh, I'd love to, but you can't do internal thrusters, and I don't want to do it without internal thrusters. And he was saying something like that. So It would be cool to kind of enclose them and kind of make it like a mystery and everything, but I think it looks okay with the exposed thrusters, especially now that the thrusters look so cool. Especially these, like I like how that kind of protrudes out and everything. It's just, yeah. Yeah, guys, that's it, man. That is the Chimera Have X, a tribute to the original Have B Chimera by Jay Randall. And it is on the workshop, being severely downvoted. So please go upvote it or downvote it or whatever you want to do. Just do something, or don't. I don't know. All right. So now we are going. This is funny. This is like we're going back and forth here. So now we're gonna look at Jay Randall's entry here, and Jay Randall has done the Kydex GT, which is an ode to my original Kydex, which I don't even. Did I sub to it? I think I did. Because I don't have the original anymore because I lost it. So I had to sub my own build here. And I don't even see it now. Where is it? Oh, did I not sub it?
Has legacy in front of it.
Oh, God, that's annoying. Who did that? Jesus. So that's another thing. On my workshop, I legacied everything that I know does not work in Alpha 11. Obviously, Alpha 12 like very much doesn't work. But I was getting... I wouldn't say frustrated, but I was... You know, I didn't want to misrepresent the game with my builds if they don't work in the game. So I've just put legacy. I really wish there was a checkbox, Elion, that would do this for us. So that people, you know, because it's a big part of the game. People get the game, they're excited, they see really cool stuff in the workshop. It doesn't work in the game. Now the game looks like it's bad when it's really just outdated workshop builds. So it'd be really cool if there was a way to legacy builds automatically, or at least have checkboxes for people that want to represent their workshop correctly, and you know, they haven't like updated them to the current. That's why I did that. If you guys want to do it, then go for it. If you don't, then, you know. So this is the original Kydex Tactical Recon. This is the second CV I built way back in the day, and you guys obviously know I've done a Mark II of this that I haven't released yet. But yeah, this is the original. This was a CV I built for myself for my in-game play, and I really wanted to build like a jet-looking thing, and this does pay tribute really to the MX-8 as well. Like, it took a lot of inspiration from that originally. But yeah, I mean, it was able to hold my tanks and whatever I needed, you know, in gameplay at the time. Row plots, very chromed out. Constructors, cargo boxes, that's all you needed back then, guys. Like, this was it. This was the meat of it. You didn't need anything else. This was all kind of RP, like medical stuff, and I love this because I had no idea, right? This is why you test your builds. Like, you would get in here and you would respawn and you wouldn't be able to get out. You'd have to remove this block. And obviously I've never fixed that, so. But now that I put Legacy on there, it doesn't matter. Haha! Old Sabers and Shields crew there. Got some, yeah. This was like my miner log. I actually used this. This was to tell me where all my auto miners were, what planets they were on, what they were, so that I can go back and pick up all my ore and everything. Bed. Back then the bed didn't work, so it was just for, you know, whatever, for looks. Now you can sleep in it, but you couldn't before. This was the old thing. So I guess I went in and updated that. Came out. So yeah, pretty cut and dry. The original Kydex. Now let's look at the new and improved Mark IIJ. The Kydex GT.
Kiev has raised quite an important point. He said stares at the inverted window.
Did I forget to do it too?
Uh-huh.
Where? What?
He spotted it.
Oh yeah, no, totally. Yeah. There you go, guys. This annoys me more than anything. This right here. That looks horrible. I hate it. It looks like a little like crow hand, like. And then it reminds me of what's that movie? Scary Movie or something, where it's got the guy that's like he's got the crazy little hand and he's like pouring porridge for everybody and yeah, never mind. It's gross. Anyway, that's what it reminds me of. Kydex GT, guys, by Jay Randall. He's definitely taken it to a new level here with the curves and the dimensions and stuff. Yeah, he's definitely rounded it out. Like the back here, I like how it kind of comes out and swoops. He's got like these kind of like he goes from these flats to curves, and it kind of makes it feel like one kind of fuselage, right? Like it doesn't feel like different sections or whatever. How to explain it? Like really cool though. Now I know that there's different color options, color variants that he's doing, which is another thing. Like I wish you guys would stop thinking of these incredible things to do. Like that's too much work, man. I'm not gonna make color palettes. Different color palettes for you guys. Do that yourself. I'm not doing it. There's color tools in the game. Color it however you want. Neuro's gonna get it. He's gonna paint it pink. You know, it's fine. Do it. Have at it. I'm not doing that. Damn it. Oh, the back, dude. The back looks really cool, man. Oh, look at the bottom. Lots going on underneath, dude. I think there's usually more detail on the bottom of J Randall builds than on the top. Like it's crazy. Let me look at the bottom of this thing. I bet it's horrible. Yeah, look at it. There we go. Like that's it, guys. It's an afterthought. When are you gonna look at that? Oh boy. What do we got here? Oh, this is how you get in. Very nice. Nice big area here. Easily as much room as you had before, but now he's got this cool like mezzanine going up. Got this shield over here. He's got grab gen over here. Up here you got a 320k storage bay 1. You've got some more storage over here. Ammo bay. Storage bay 2. Wow, it's like three 320s and an 80k. Repair station. We've got some small generators. Got a couple of grow plots for some rations. I mean, this is all you need for one person, right? I really like how he separated the rooms kind of with these like flat transitions where it's still like an open floor plan, but like it kind of sections it off. It looks really good, man. That looks really cool. It kind of curves in and then it goes down and it just, yeah, there's a lot of depth there. You can kind of see what's going on in there, but it's still kind of closed off. This is interesting. Some different shapes here to kind of bring that in. Kind of like your, I guess your tactical cockpit. Your, oh wow, what the? Whoa, it's like your virtual cock. Look at this. What the hell? What did I just walk into? That wasn't. Oh, dude, that's cool. Like you don't see it, and then you see it. Ooh. You're literally in a virtual universe right now. This is dude, that's so cool. And that's the thing, right? You don't see the projection LCDs on the other side. That's a really cool use for that, man. That's cool, man. Yeah, like that's, I mean, that's always been a thing. Like if you notice that with all the projection screens, you don't see it on the other side. Oh, I'm an so I don't get it. Now I don't get it. I thought that was a thing. You do see it on the other. So how is this happening? Oh, it's a motion thing. He's got it set to like a motion. Yeah. Okay. So even though I'm still on this side, I can see it. Yeah, he's got it set. Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, that's what that is. Oh, dude, that's sweet. That's cool, man. Really cool. Because I think when you first did the virtual thing, I want to say it was the MX-18. I don't know. It was one of your SVs where you did the same virtual thing, and it was cool. And it was like, okay, you know. But now you've brought it to a whole new level. Like now it's really a thing. Like that's cool, man. That's really cool. Wow. Fancy. Got doors on his bathroom, man. Look at that. Oh, that's cool, man. Nice open room here. Thruster power. Exterior lights, drone hatch. Sweet, dude. Oh, and this goes out to the outside. That's cool. I like that. It's just the way things flow, right? Like everything feels really open in this build. Like it's not like, you know, elevator, now go to next floor, elevator, now go to, like it's all, you see all the floors. And, you know, that's, yeah, that's really cool. Oh man, give it a fly. Yeah, dude. So I gotta say, man, like life goals here. Like, you know, when I went and built that stupidity recluse thing down there, built off of your MX-8, I never in a second thought that you would take one of my builds and build something off of it. So it's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool that, you know, a couple years later things are the way they are now. Like it's pretty incredible. Definitely elated. This thing moves great. Does barrel roll. Any CB that does a barrel roll, that's a win. And that's the thing. This is a good all-around CB. It could definitely hold its own in a fight. I mean, it's got a good weapons package. Got a projectile. It's got, you know, all that stuff. It's good all-arounder here. Yeah, see, now I like all the pressure, you know. Now I got to go back and spend another year on the Kydex Mark II before I can release it. You know, I can't go and release the Kydex Mark II and it's like not as good as this. Then it's going to be like, all right, X-Cow. No, I'm kidding. It really doesn't have much more to do on it. I just want to wait for 12 now to see if there's any other game-breaking thing that I would have to fix on it, so we will release it. Probably before Christmas. All right. I love what you did with the back too. The back looks really good, and it really is it's like a tribute to the original here, which is cool. Like I went way off reservation with my Mark II for the original, so I like that this actually looks a lot more like the original, but like definitely high classed up, you know, with the shaping and it's a bit more compact, right? Like look at how much smaller it is, and you got so much more function in it. So, really cool, man. That is by Jay Randall. That is the Kydex GT based off of my original Kydex. Stars. Very cool, man. Very cool. Thank you, sir. All right, so now we are going to head into another build here, and this is by Semp. And this is let me get a little space out here. Space for the Space Force 1 here. So this is the CVM 26 Xandar, and it's based off of the Space Force 1 by Crazy Z. So first we're going to spawn Crazy Z's Space Force 1. Now, this is an older build of Crazy Z's. This is what I want to say. This was a big pivot point for Crazy Z because he had done the Adriatic Princess, which was just crazy awesome. Just a workshop of how to do really crazy interiors. But the thing didn't move. It barely moved. It wasn't functional in game. It was more like a set piece. And then he came out with this, which is a Space Force One, which I think he made the outside of the ship and everything look a bit more put together, while still doing just an insane job on the interior. And I don't have an hour to show the interior, but if you have not seen this build, you need to go to Crazy Z's workshop. You need to spawn it in. You need to just look through every room. It's incredible. It's incredible the amount of work and detail that he put into this thing. It's insane. And this thing's beautiful. I mean, this is the United States of Akua. You know, this is like the I don't know, the presidential Corvette, whatever you would call it. Like, this is, you know, yeah, dude. The outside looks really cool, really interesting on the outside, and then the inside is just insane. Gonna take a quick run through it here, and then also, like, you know, you spawn this now and you just see the progression that Crazy Z's been, you know, through in just in the past year. You know how far he's come. You know, this is an SV, you guys, not a TV. This is an SV. I mean, just every room is just filled with so much detail. Got some beds here. I mean, anytime you have an SV that has ramps to the next floor, you know, like, it's about to be on here. You got metal detectors here. Got some seating for maybe, I don't know, reporters or whatever. Yeah, press staff here. Kitchen, little galley here. Menu of the day. I mean, just the work that went into this, man. Like, yeah. Look at that, a little conference room. I mean, just incredible. Let me there's and you'll get lost in this thing. Like, you'll get lost in it. Like, it's incredible the amount of work that was put into this thing. Like, every area has just got like an insane amount of detail. Like another floor. This is the cockpit here. Need beds for the piloting crew, right? Bathroom. This isn't even like a third of the build, guys. Like, there's an emergency bay. There's a look at this. There's an escape pod. And remember, this is an SV, guys. So this is an escape pod in an SV that he's made. Just kind of like, yeah. I mean, just incredible, man. Just remarkable. If I remember, I think Jay Randall had some help with this this area here, which is cool. Yeah, just, you know. Oh God, pool table. I forgot about all this. Just look at this though, the freaking curtains and stuff. Like, I don't know, man. There's just so much here. It's just insane. I mean, the LCD work. Look at this. Like, there's a piano, guys. I don't know. I don't even know how he did that. I still don't know how he did that. What is this? This is LCDs, guys. He made a piano with LCDs. Right? I mean, yeah. What do you want here? It's a golden Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I could show you this ship for an hour, but go to Crazy Z's workshop. Get this, get the Adriatic Princess, get some of these older builds that he's done, and you'll see the genius in like interior work and stuff. And now he builds more for function while still representing a bit of this. But it's really cool to because this is hundreds of hours of work right there put into things like this. So definitely check that out. That is called the Space Force 1 by Crazy Z. And now we get to see Semp's CVM 26 Xandar build.
Can I just recommend you read the notes on the spreadsheet as you're spawning one?
Crazy 49er with that 13th month tier 2 resub. Thank you, sir. As always, freaking awesome. All right, let me. I wish there was a way to make Excel long way instead of Fractalite. May 3rd. Holy smokes! I just found this gorgeous work. I'm honored you feel inspired by my design.
No, wrong one.
Oh, where are we? Okay. Xandar is a memorial capital vessel built in memory of my father who passed away the day after Christmas. It won't scroll.
Mine will. I'll read it.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, no, it won't scroll.
Okay, so CMV 26 Xandar is a memorial capital vessel built in memory of my father who passed away the day after Christmas. His D&D name for nearly 5 decades was Xandar, and his favorite number was 26. So this is how the vessel got its name.
Condolences for your father. I didn't know that. Very cool way to honor him. Is this the CV? It's probably the CV. CVM. Here we go.
Yeah, it's a CV.
Oh, I'm saying wow, and I don't have it. Wow. So definitely holds true to the kind of the shaping and the look of the original Space Force 1. While, in CV form, obviously. I don't know how you guys crank out these CVs like this. Yeah, Sem's definitely a passionate builder, man. Like a lot of the stuff he does, he I mean, my favorite build of his is the ship he did based on his naval ship, which was amazing. Yeah, this looks to be another one. Look at all those weapons, dude. Lighting's really cool. Shell work in here. Kind of opened up in here. Really good depth. Wow, 2 entrances here. So we got an HV entrance and a SV entrance. Heavy glass here. Come in with the HV and you can kind of taxi around. Come in here and get meted up. Alternate sick bay over here. Come around, you could taxi your HV all the way through here. Wow. Yeah, you probably fit just about any HV through here. Lots of cargo. 72,000, 80,000 fuel. So definitely made for gameplay, right? Kind of giving you all these different cargo options. All kind of labeled. Jeez. You guys are better than me. You got more cargo here. You got the core. Got some, you know, all your repair stations, medical bays here. We've got some. Big medical area here. Is Semp here?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, Semp, if you want to come into voice for a minute, man, and kind of explain this a little better than I could. Pay tribute if you want, man. Welcome to. If you don't want it, I totally understand too, but...
We're down in live voice 1.
How's it going, gentlemen?
Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, explain the interior here with the middle part here.
All right, the middle part that was like thrown in there after a while. It was updated again later, but that build was finished for 12, which we couldn't do for this.
Oh, okay.
So you have the older, not completely updated version. There was actually beds in there, and intake station and the whole 9 yards like that in there. That was just literally thrown in there. There's supposed to be one of every medic station, but it's staggered.
Okay.
And then and around it was the beds and an intake desk and stuff like that. So it was actually like medical on an actual ship.
Right. Okay, cool. So cool, man. So like you take the HVs in here and you can taxi them all around and you can get to the overflow storage here.
Yeah, it's meant for smaller HVs, like miners, like the worker ones. Like nothing like a tank or anything like that would fit in.
Right. Got engineering here. I like how it's all open and stuff too. Got your SV bay, and then it goes. So I guess you could probably fit like another SV down here in the big center if you wanted to take it down.
Yeah, that was meant for it'll fit right over the top. I actually flew one of my heavy fighters up in and can land in there if it needs to. It'll fit in there. There's a lot of space in this.
Yeah, man. So my condolences, dude. Really cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Got access to all the thrusters and everything here. Repair work if need be. Yeah, it's definitely cool when you give people a manual option to kind of repair and stuff. Like, you know, if you're actually going to take this and you know, kind of do the whole role play thing, like it's really cool that you can do that versus having to like ghost in there and fix stuff. Or I guess use a repair bay, right? But it's kind of cool if you just want to manually do it if you don't have the repair bay.
Yeah, I generally do. I don't use repair bays that often. I will actually go through and fix the ship, and I'll leave the parts that were fixed untextured on purpose, so you can see where it took a beating, where she was patched up. So by the end of a playthrough, you can take a look back and see, you know, see everything that took.
Freaking diehards, man. I don't know, dude. We got to do a co-op stream with like you, me, and Bullet or something. You guys are nuts, man. I swear to God, like yeah, that would be kind of cool, man. Like I gotta get a playthrough with you guys because you guys probably drive me nuts. But it sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like a lot of fun, dude, to play that way.
Under one condition, though, you gotta look at me at least once and go, "Get on the ground, sir."
Right? Oh yeah. No. Oh, that's like every day.
Alphaholic came up with a question. How long did it take you to do this, Sam?
About 4 days.
4 days?
Yeah, 4 days, but that was like nonstop with small breaks in between. I homeschool my kids. Other than that, it took about 4 days straight, like straight forward. So we're talking like more than an hour or two a day. It was more like 6 or 7 hours a day.
I think it took me 4 days to texture mine. I was like, I don't want to texture anymore. So baby texture. I was like running around the house crying and shit. Oh more.
You got to remember too, though. I was in my head during that time too because I was building this with my dad.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I just
of course,
this was literally all I did for 4 days.
Therapy, man. Definitely. Yeah, I mean, you know, and that's the thing, like with building, like I can remember builds where it just came super easy and it just kind of was melodic, right? And then there's other times where it's painful, you know, but then you feel like you started with something cool and you want to do it justice, but you're like, you know, like it's just not right. And it's really, you know, you play those games with yourself a lot and it's frustrating sometimes. But sometimes it just all kind of works, you know?
Yeah, some of the textures were even missing too, because up the elevators, in certain spots, the textures weren't there. Because I use the same texture every time for my elevator shafts, literally every time I build something, and they're missing two on there. It was because one side probably did it, and the other side probably didn't, because Symmetry absolutely hates it.
It hates us all. It hates us all.
And Alphaholic is coming up with some more good questions. Do you do like a blueprint or a hand sketch? What's your process in building something?
I have an idea in my head and I just try to build it. For this one though, because it was a build that Crazy Z did, this was built block by block from the core, and obviously the core was moved many times throughout the build, but trying to get, especially the thrusters on the outside, that took me a very long time to get right. That probably took me the longest part of the build was those thruster pods on the outside there. It took me a long time to get that right, a really long time.
Yeah, I've tried those before, and I actually abandoned it because they just weren't looking good. So
Hard to do. I remember when he released the Space Force, and I was like, dude, those thrusters are freaking incredible. I was like, dude, that looks amazing. I don't know. It'd be cool one day to be able to fill all these seats, right? And to have it have some purpose and
Wouldn't it?
stuff. That'd be...
Exactly.
Yeah, I had I was in another guy's stream. I think it was yesterday, and I was having an argument about Empyrion. Somebody was telling me how Empyrion's just a cheap copy of Space Engineers, and I got triggered, and I was like, "What are you talking about? Are you kidding me?" Like, and I was like, "No, like Empyrion's a working version of Space Engineers." Like, shut up. And I was just going back and forth, and
I made sure too, like before I did it, because I built this before the before the challenge was put up. But I asked Crazy first if he wouldn't mind if I did it, and I got his okay first, and I went and built it.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. This is great. Very cool, man. That's, yeah, I don't know. You guys crank these CVs out. But you know, that SV down there took. If Crazy's here, he could probably tell us. But I guarantee you that took more than 50 hours or I mean, just some amazing amount of. It's just the work you guys put into these builds is. I can't show them enough, you know. Because they just get missed, you know. They go in the workshop and you know they're not seen, and it's not that people don't want to see them. It's just it's hard to find them all. It's hard to find stuff on the workshop. Very cool, Sam. That is the CVM 26 Xandar. Inspiration from the Space Force 1 by Crazy Z. All right, that's going to bring us to our next build here, and this is by Scarly. Now, after this build, I am going to announce what the next Designers Challenge is for June, right? I don't know, man. I might get some backlash. It'll be fine. You guys will be all right. Don't worry. So this is by Scarly, and this is the Hydra. This is based off of another somebody that inspired me through building is Fractalite, and this is based off of the Sharon. Am I saying that right, or is it Karen? Or I don't know how you guys say CH. If there's some different way to say that.
Karen.
Karen.
This is all Greek. Both Chimera and this come from Greek mythology, and they tended to hard see their CH.
It's all Greek to me, buddy. Or I guess it's not Greek to me because I didn't pronounce it right. All right, so let me just type it. Oh, I did it right. Oh wait, crap! I'm supposed to show the first one. Ignore that, guys. You don't see anything. Oh man, it's like if Ron Burgundy had to use the camera too. Like it's horrible. All right, there we go. This is the Karen, and this is by Fractalite. So, if you don't know who Fractalite is, like, definitely check out his workshop. Very, very unique, interesting builder. Like, he just, you know, the crazy alien kind of, like, jagged, pointy, like, just elegant, beautiful stuff. Like, it's just incredible, the stuff that he does, and it's just so different, you know? You know, he doesn't care too much about like the exposure of stuff, and I know shields have probably just been a godsend for a lot of his builds. You put a shield on it, and suddenly you can use any of these things in combat and stuff. Because you know he definitely leaves stuff exposed more for you know the looks and design of it. Which I mean, he just does some amazing work with shaping, and you could see it here. I mean, just you know, and you could definitely see a bit of a Scarly, you know, in a lot of this, like the way a Scarly builds and stuff, the unorthodox kind of shaping and stuff definitely is direct inspiration from Fractalite. It's really cool. Like just taking like you take this cockpit and just the way that it kind of blends in with the rest of the build, and it doesn't look, you know, he does a good job of kind of encompassing it and making it part of this build. Where, you know, at the end of the day, this is a pretty straightforward SV, you know, and, you know, this is an older SV, so obviously it wouldn't work in the new play, but just beautiful, right? Got Gatlings, it is warp capable, and, you know, pretty basic as far as what it comes with, but, you know, he's giving you oxygen station, you do have an armor locker, so the function's there. Everything you need in an SV is in here, more or less, right? So you probably got, yeah, you got a fridge here. Some stuff is internal that you can only access from the P menu. But, yeah, just beautiful. I wish I didn't get in it, because now it's, like, stuck down there. I don't think I could lift it up. Let me see. No, I have to put CPU blocks on it. Kind of looks cool like that, though. So that is by Fractalite, and that is the Karen. So now we're going to look at the Hydra by Scarly. Oh. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, so same cockpit. My favorite cockpit. Interesting, he went with like a matte kind of finish here, which looks really cool. I love the way the grays look with the matte finish, like it just looks really good. and it definitely gives it I don't know what kind of an organic look. I almost want to say it's like, I don't want to say it looks like fur, but it looks very alienish and organic. It doesn't look man-made. It looks, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. You know, they're doing lots of races and stuff now with Empyrion as far as the lore and stuff. It would be cool to have like a legacy race, you know, kind of the alien substrate kind of thing, the Xenu. Like something like that would be cool with this, you know, with that kind of look. And kind of base your texture around that and stuff. Cool. But just, I mean, I couldn't even begin to interpret it as far as the shaping. Like I don't know how these guys start doing crazy things with these shapings. I mean, look at it. Look at how it goes from the center and it kind of like goes into here, and if you've ever seen any of his screenshots when he progresses into the build, like it's just insane. Like, you know, how he arrives at this, because he literally draws it. He draws with the shapes, and he goes around and he's like, okay, I'm done drawing this. Now we're gonna draw this. It's like he's literally got a pen and paper, and he's got like graph paper, and he's just kind of like drawing through the build. It's really cool. Structure, O2 station, armor locker. So everything's here. Definitely moves well. Yeah, it moves good all around. Like it doesn't feel over or under in any area. Like it's got a good solid balance to it, to the flight. Yeah, I mean SVs now are, God, like you gotta know what you're doing to build an SV now in this gameplay. Like if you want it to move a certain way, like you really gotta know what you're doing. And this feels really solid. So it's, you know, as different as a lot of these builds look, like they work. Look at this. I mean, this is fun to fly. Yeah, this is sweet. Keith. Yeah, dude, that's incredible. What a great SV, man. Well flying. It's got a warp drive. I mean, it just looks interesting. Very cool, man. Very good job. And what a great ode to Fractalite. Amazing, man. Definitely kind of getting like a Triforce vibe from that one. Very cool. This is by Ascarly, and this is the Hydra, and this is a direct inspiration from the Karen by Fractalite. And oh, now I will read. Actually, Jet, can you read the quote from Fractalite?
Yeah, give me a sec. While I was putting the spreadsheet together, I happened to notice one of the comments on the workshop page for this, and I thought I'd include it as part of the notes. The comment was, Fractalite on the 3rd of May at 5:36 p.m. Holy smokes, I just found this. Gorgeous work. I'm honoured you feel inspired by my designs, and I think you did Charon proud. Amazing job. I even like the stats.
Yeah, Fractalite's very active on the workshop. He definitely supports a lot of people. He gives a lot of thumbs up. He gives a lot of constructive comments and everything, so he is very active actually in the workshop, which is really cool. I mean, there's some designers that are very, very active. Jay Randall's another one that just goes through everybody's stuff and gives good comments and stuff. So that's always really cool, really supportive, to kind of get that information and stuff from really good designers. Very cool, very cool. All right, so yeah, now we're going to go ahead and announce June's Designers Challenge. So for June, we're going to do something. This is going to be a bit more, this will be good. Right before Alpha 12, we're going to do a little bit of a workshop within our Designers Challenge workshop. We're going to keep it, you know what? We're going to open it to any type of build. It could be anything you guys want to do. If you want to do an SV, HV, you want to do a CV. What I want to get out of this is I want you guys to take a very long time with shaping. And to do that, I want you guys to come up with a build, and I want you to stop at shaping. I don't want you guys to paint. I don't want you guys to texture. There's going to be, no texturing, no shaping. One solid base coat. Now, if your base coat is the carpet texture, if your base coat is the smooth texture, if your base coat is the combat steel texture, whatever it is, but it needs to be one texture. And I'll give you an example here. So when I was doing the Chimera, I did it in stages. Once I passed the stage, I would make a new one here. So stage 1 was my original shaping stage. And I took a long time to do the shaping before I did any kind of texturing. Now, I know some of you guys, including I think Jay Rendell at this point, you guys texture as you shape. But I know Jay Rendell can do it this way too. I don't think anybody can't do it this way. But what I want to try to do is get some of the newer builders and designers to take as much time as they can texturing with blocks. Doing all this intricate work before you even put a slab of paint on it. You got to kind of visualize it from a prototype kind of stance, right? But you want to make it look really good before you even put any paint on it. And I found when I started doing this myself, I would texture a lot less, which some people say, okay, I don't texture enough now, I don't, this and that. But I really enjoy just like doing all the block work as texturing and then just kind of giving it like a nice subtle look with some textures, to kind of translate what the functions are. But more or less, like, I don't know, it looks a lot cleaner to me when you spend way more time texturing with blocks. So basically, like, this would be an entry. I want to see you guys do something like this. And from that, we might do I don't think we would do a whole design on texturing. I would throw open my mouth 20 times if I had to do that. So, because I don't like texturing. I don't like painting. It drives me nuts. It's like some people with signal logic and stuff and lighting. But I definitely want to see what you guys can come up with and see if you can build things that can hold their own without being painted. And I do realize, and I thought about this, I do realize how crazy the workshop will look for this like week or whatever with a bunch of things that aren't painted. But I think it'll be kind of cool, actually. And I think, you guys can think of a creative way to market it, like paint it yourself or I don't know, like figure something else like that you guys want to put on the workshop. But I think it would be really cool. And I want you guys to take a long time with the detail because that's what I'm going to be highlighting.
Color by number.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like I want to see you guys kind of come up with some really high level of shaping detail. And just come up with something. And it's cool because you guys, what I wanted to do originally was I wanted to do something specifically for Alpha 12, but because it's not out yet, I don't know exactly what that topic's going to be. So if you guys see something that you think you're going to want to build for Alpha 12, this is a good way to kind of be in line with that. And then just kind of stop it at this point and turn in the entry. And then if you want to keep going with it on your own as a whole build, then go for it. But I want you guys to really take your time and give a lot of detail to the actual shaping of your design. I want to see what you guys come up with because like certain things, like if you just put a like this wouldn't necessarily be my base code, but if I was to just just do like a base coat of that or something. I mean, you can see the level of detail and stuff, and it looks good on its own. But you add the paint, obviously it looks better. But it could still, it can still stop you in your tracks and go, wow, that's a lot of detail. There's a lot going on there. That's really cool. So I just want you guys, because I do see builds where it's like too much is put on the texturing. and not enough on the shaping, and it doesn't quite translate as well as it could. Whereas if you had some more complex shape groups, it would pop out even more with the texture, because the texture should just translate what the shape is. It shouldn't have to carry all that. It shouldn't have to completely role play what the shape is supposed to be. You got a stream freeze? I didn't drop anything.
Okay, me. I'll refresh.
Yeah, Brian.
This is going to crucify the likes of Silas Decor and some of the others who have such intricate paint jobs.
I don't think so, though. Honestly, I don't. I hear you, but yeah, Salute Decor. But I think it'll be really cool for people. Yeah, the interior too. I don't want anything textured or painted. Interior, exterior, nothing. And honestly, I think it's gonna force a lot of us to take even more time translating our builds purely with shapes. And I look forward to it. I look forward to seeing some stuff. Like if you guys are gonna be doing CVs and stuff, like I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys can come up with. Yeah, Kithid, this is next month's challenge. And then once you get to this point and the challenge is over, you guys get to paint them and stuff. That is the June Designers Challenge, and I will have more details up in the Discord. And then for July, we're going to be doing a full-blown Alpha 12 challenge. Whatever really cool function additions are in Alpha 12 is what we're going to be building for. All right, let's continue, and we're going to continue with a first-time entry. And this is by Ubersmith. And this is a ode to Pistons, original Mantis Dark Side, which is actually a Mark II of the original Mantis. This is the Scorpion Mark I.
Thanks for letting me in here. I'm going to pop out.
All right, cool, Simp. I'll catch you later, man.
Take it easy, Simp. See you later.
All right, so this is by Pistonworks, and this is the Mantis Dark Side. Very, the original one, very, very unorthodox, very interesting. When I first saw this SV, this is way, years ago, the original one. Just the way, I actually thought it was the other way around. I thought this was the front of it. And then seeing that this was the front of it, it was just blown away. And then, I remember specifically, this build here taught me that you could put literally, 4 doors in such a small area. Because he had 2 doors here. But then I think in the original one, he had 3 doors or something. I'm like, how did he do that? And he put 1 inside, 1 outside. Actually, this has 3 doors. Yeah, see? Yeah, so same thing. So you got that outer door, you got the inner door, and then you got this other door here. So I was like, what? How is there 3 doors in 1 block space? So pretty cool. Then you come in here. Definitely a lot of RP in this build. And this is, I guess, a darker version of it. This is a newer version of the original here. But yeah, you got a little workstation here. You've got the cockpit here. Got the engine room here. Yeah, I think you'll only find this version on the workshop because, Piston pulled all of his original stuff off the workshop. Because he got upset, so all that's not on there, but you will see this one. You'll see some of the other builds that he brought out. But yeah, lots of RP, lots of interesting, shaping and stuff and texture work. probably way more texture heavy than shape heavy, but still, you know, really cool. And definitely, you know, based on the work, definitely one of my, you know, one of my original inspirations, building wise. There was a couple of his builds that, you know, like the War Chain, which is actually was the highest tier prefab. The War Chain, I forget what it was called, tier 6 CV, something like that. Yeah, some of those builds, you know, definitely taught me a lot as far as building, as well as the his HVs, the Diablo series. I don't think he builds anymore, or yeah, at least he doesn't build under the name Piston anymore. I think there's some other variations of designers that he builds under now. I don't think he builds under Piston anymore. But yeah, that is the original Mantis, and now let's look at the operation build here. This is the Scorpion Mark 1. Whoa. Holy CV. Nice. Yeah, cool. Interesting. I wonder if these are drills or miners. Okay, these are drills. Cool. So it's like a drill ship. Interesting. Light size upgrade. Just a little bit. A little bit. Yeah, he's got some nice red slits and stuff in there. That looks really cool.
Will you allow that kind of texturing in the challenge next month, or has it got to be completely blank?
Yeah, so when I say base coat, I mean like a clear coat, I mean, listen, if this is your base coat, this one texture, it has to be that texture everywhere. So you can't see any of these symbols, you can't see any of this, like it has to only be one texture. And it
I was on more about the little red bits, the highlights and accents, than
No.
I was anything else.
No, those are... Now, you can have those, but obviously you can't paint them, you can't texture them, so they would have to kind of stand out on their own. Now, obviously, you're not going to be able to get that core contrast with the shading and stuff, but, you know, again, that's just what uplifts the build once you're building it. So when you're able to put this out without any texture, it gives you something to make the build pop out even more with the lighting and stuff. So, because I bet this looks really good without any texture or color, with just having those like insets and these little lines and stuff. But it forces you to really picture it, but it forces you to make it look good without doing that yet, I guess. Because I think sometimes when people are building, I think they rush the shaping to where they want to get to the texturing. And if they spent another 3 hours on the shaping, their entire build would pay off in a big way. And then the texturing would just be a bonus, you know? Color and texturing. Don't get me wrong, I mean, like you said, Sluice Decor, you know, Jay Randall, like all the top builders, their texturing and coloring is what sets, you know, a lot of the builds apart. But to be honest, it's also the shaping. And, you know, we get to see Jay Randall's progression with his builds because he does the YouTube thing. But a lot of these builders, you don't get to see their builds before that. But you look at somebody like T-Rex or somebody, you know, that has a really high block detail ratio, and I bet we're going to see some insane stuff. And I'll say it now. If T-Rex doesn't do an entry in this month's challenge, I'm going to be pretty upset. So maybe like start building now, T-Rex, while you're watching. I don't know. But yeah, no, not short answer, no. One color, well, not even color. Yeah, no color. I don't want anything to be colored. So it has to be the base color, whatever that default gray is. But yeah, one texture. So yeah, Raptor, no black, because then it's like you didn't even have to do anything different. So yeah. But yeah, let's look inside here. Nice big hangar. Got repair options here. You got some constructors. Got all your basic stuff here. Got manual switches for them. Repair locker here. Does anybody feel like the repair station shouldn't cost a cosium and a restroom? Like, don't you feel like that shouldn't be a thing? Like, is repairing your weapons really that high tech? Like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, you could have a shield. What does a shield take? Does a shield take Sarkozy? It does, right? But I mean, I don't know. I just feel like that's too... I don't think it's that big a deal that I have to go all the way to the freaking lava planet to get, you know, what I need to get that. I mean, obviously you get that from POIs and stuff. I probably sound stupid. Like, I don't know the experimental. I know there's like aluminum and what is it? Aluminum and titanium and all these other things coming. Which is great content-wise, because we get to argue about aluminum for like another couple episodes.
Aluminium.
Production. You know, yeah. I like how he's kind of opened up the space here, like he's giving you a little mezzanine, but you can kind of see through everything. It's really cool when you break that up, but you kind of keep everything on an open plane. Nice quality of life stuff. Yeah, HV manual doors. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, there just has to be... God, like, I just want to have a meeting. Can we have a sit-down meeting, like, with the devs just for a minute? Can we just go over some of these things? Like, listen, guys. Infinite space is cool, but, like, you know, can we just have, like, a regular door for our HVs, like, before level 10, please? Like, the shutter sucks. It's loud and annoying. By the way, can you remove that sound from the game completely, like, ever? I don't want to hear that sound anymore. We're in space. Things don't sound like that anymore, probably. That's a bit much, you know? Like, yeah, man. I just wish we could have, like, a sit-down.
I know Annie's reading the spreadsheet because he's just prompted this is a first-time entry.
Oh, look at that. Admins working together. Pick up the slack for my my lack of... Wait, no, I did say that in the beginning, though. I said that in the beginning. I said it was a first-time entry, which is awesome, dude. I mean, this is freaking amazing. So, you know, yet again, we've pulled another seasoned designer into the fold here, into our little building community, and you know, we get to see some more remarkable here. So yeah, very cool, man. Really good job here, Uber. Let's give this a drive here. Now this is a drill ship, which is cool too. So it's got like a specific function here, which is always good, and it moves good. I mean, you know, if this is mainly going to be for asteroid mining and stuff, but even still, I mean, it's got all the function to be able to be your basic CV that can carry around your HVs and stuff, and you could pull in an SV in there as well. You've got a little area on the top there, or even on the back wing, you could put an SV as well. And I think it definitely does the Mantis, the original Mantis, justice with the looks and everything. The shaping's really good, the detail's good. And probably, you know, it gives the Mantis some real function, right? You know, the Mantis, along with a lot of the other, the piston builds, like, they look really nice, but, you know, as far as purpose in game, it's a lot more role play than it is, you know, real function. So I like to see that, you know, the look of this has gone into something that's probably a bit more functional in game. So that's really cool. Really good job there, Uber. As a first-time entry, that is amazing. That is a Scorpion Mark 1 Alpha 11 based on PistonWorks Mantis Dark Side. Very cool, man. Good job. All right, and that brings us to another first-time entry and a recent ambassadorship promotion here by Donk31. And he is doing a build called the Judge, which is an HV, first HV of the stream. I love it. And this is based on the original Hydra tank by Spange. Oh, Spange, sorry, by Spange. Hold on. Where's let's look at the original here. So here's the original. And yeah, I remember this one. So this was definitely a big pivot for Spange as far as design. He definitely stepped up on the shaping and the design and stuff. I remember this one. This was like, it was pretty cool to see. A lot of changes here from kind of his style before. And just a really high level of detail. Really cool inset thruster stuff here. I mean, he just went all out. I think this was like a really long chilling and building, right? A lot of pipe work as usual. A lot of function. Oh, right. You come in here, yeah, it's got a nice internal cockpit and everything, passenger. So really cut and dry, really cool, right? Like, oh, right. I said I wasn't gonna fly these. This is Alpha 10. I want to say Alpha 10. But yeah, I don't think it would move with the Alpha 11 CPU and all that. But yeah, definitely a memorable HV by Spange there. And then so Donk here has the Judge.
Yeah, it's 14th of January 2019, so that would have been Alpha.
Yeah. Yeah, so kind of the same principle here, definitely. Well, no, you know what? It's got a little bit of. That's interesting. Yeah, so he's really like encased the cockpit here to where, you know, only forward gonna get shot at. Got a shield. Got an internal cockpit. Oh no, that's the external cockpit. $500 ammo. Or in wood. Oh, that's okay. So that's for the two harvesters there in the front. 6,500 ammo. So a lot of ammo, guys. But yeah, pretty cut and dry, man. Pretty like. I destroy. This is what I do. Definitely a heavy tank. It doesn't have a lot of play left to right. So it's. I think it's more. I want to say it's more of a sniper. Much as HVs can be snipers. I don't see any fixed weapons on it. No fixed weapons, so it's purely like an emplacement kind of... I would say more of an emplacement kind of support HV. I mean, you're not really going to get good 360. I mean, you might like wide berth kind of, but to redirect would be a little hard just based on. And see, this is the problem, you know, not to say with the builder, but this is the problem with the CPU system. I think the HVs are affected mostly by this, right? And I really wonder what Yeah, see, I really wonder what the developers are trying to push us to do. Like, do they want us to build really small HVs? Are they trying to get us away from it so that the SVs don't look so under prepared? You know, I don't know. I don't know what they're going for, but it's driving me nuts because I love building HVs. But it just, yeah, it's kind of hard to build anything that's not extremely like classed, right? So again, this would be like a really heavy and placed HV that might support like some more medium tanks and stuff. I mean, it moves, don't get me wrong, this thing isn't like lacking maneuverability. I mean, it's got really good strafe. I guess it's just maybe the style that you'd have to fly. I mean, you can move it, it just takes a full mouse pad, right? But yeah, I mean, he literally can't put any RCS in here. He's already over, so it's really hard to do that. But you know, then you look at what he's inspired by, which is the Hydra tank, which that doesn't move right now. And well, I shouldn't say that because I don't think there's CPU blocks in it, but I think even if there was, yeah, look, I mean, look how high over tier 4 that is. So you see the hit that HVs have gotten in this game based on this CPU thing. And you know what we used to do with HVs, we can't do anymore, and it does suck because boy, it's fun to build HVs. Every HV of mine has suffered the same fate. No matter, you know, and I'm pretty conservative in what I put into my stuff, and still, like, mine are all grounded as well. So it's hard. I don't know. I just wish there was a clear outlook on what they want us to do with HVs, because either they know it or they don't. They're driving us to build things a certain way based on the limits that they give us. So yeah, it just kind of stops us from being able to have as much creativity as possible. And I was always on the other side of the CPU argument. Like, I really want to see where they're going with it, and I'm interested to, you know, to see this and that. But like the HV thing, man, it does hurt, and I wonder if it is kind of stifling a bit of creativity when it comes to problem solving in the game. Not all of us like SVs. I don't care for the SV flying in this game. As much as you do with the flight controller system and some of the other things, like, I'm still not inspired to fly as much as I am to tank. Whereas in other games like Star Citizens and stuff, like, I love to fly, I love it, like, it's so, you know, engrossing. But in this, I still feel separated from the game when I'm in an SV. Be it the ambient, be it the danger, lack thereof, you know, the risk. I could just fly over anything I want and not get hurt. Whereas in a tank, I have to deal with ground combat, I have to deal with terrain, I have to deal with weight, I have to deal with all these different things that could put me in a really bad situation. And I want that in SVs, but it's not there. But instead of giving us that, you're taking away our ability to use HVs for a lot more than we used to be able to. So, long story short, really good job, really great job. First time entry, and this is by El Donk. Very cool, man. Definitely has the essence of a Spange HV. I think you would be really proud of this. Looks really cool, and definitely does the job. So good stuff. Very cool, and it's within CPU. So, dude, success. Very hard thing to do, especially with a bigger, heavier HV. So I applaud you, sir. I'm like losing my voice because I'm soapboxing on things. I can't help it. Like, I don't know. As I'm getting, I gotta say again, I'm really excited to get back into Empyrion. I haven't played Empyrion since January, since my 24-hour stream. I've built for the challenges, but I haven't been in the game. I haven't been invested in the game, and I'm getting reinvested into it for this patch. I'm gonna be doing a full Let's Play on YouTube. We're gonna be doing a YouTube Let's Play this time, so we're gonna be doing 30-minute episodes, 25-minute episodes, at least twice a week. I want to say twice a week, but I'm also going to be live streaming the Let's Play, like off plan stuff. You know what I mean? So like, whereas in the Let's Play, I'm gonna be doing like the meat of the stuff, but then the streams are gonna be more like me gathering or me like, you know, and it's cool because we still have fun, we still talk, we do little things, whatever. It'll be like the building and stuff because in my Let's Play, I'm not gonna be spawning anything in. I'm gonna be building everything in the survival Let's Play. So a lot of that building is gonna take place on the stream side of it, but you're still gonna see the content on the YouTube side of it as well. So I'm gonna be juggling between streaming and YouTubing the same Let's Play, so it'll be interesting. We'll see how it goes, and that's going to be starting as soon as Alpha 12 drops. You're going to start seeing that content from me. I'm also going to have a video on YouTube kind of previewing and outlining what my rules are going to be and how I'm going to be conducting it. So yeah, I think it's going to be cool, man. I'm excited for it. So we're definitely going to be doing that. I'm also going to be bringing back the weekly workshop review. We're gonna see how that goes. If it's still gonna have T-Rex and Jay Randall, if it's gonna be me or whatever. But we're gonna get that out there. We're gonna get more light on the workshop. So we're definitely doing that. We're gonna be doing designer spotlight again, some iteration of that. There's a lot coming, guys. There's a lot of Empyrion content coming to my YouTube channel and to my Twitch channel. Details in Discord. That's going to bring us to our next build here, which is another J. Randall tribute of the Karen CH10, which I think is or was a prefab. Is it still a prefab? I think so. And this is by Nainu, and it's OFP was, that's a crazy word. Quizidor? Quasidor? I don't know what that says.
Not sure, Quasitor.
Oh, you don't know? Well, suddenly I feel.
No, it's not a name I recognise.
So this is the Karen CH10, and yeah, I remember this one. This was definitely when I want to say this was when the new F4 logistics started, and I think this was the first CVJ Randall did.
Quasitor was a late Roman or Byzantine police official of Constantinople, specifically a magistrate.
Whoa. Did you look that up or somebody in chat said that?
I just looked it up.
Oh, okay. I was like, whoa, who had that information right out there? So the other reason I know this CV so well is I always steal this LCD. Like anytime I need this LCD, I'll like spawn this and steal it. I use this in the Kydex Mark II, and yeah, I just can't be bothered to like. Well, I guess now you could just project this, right? So this would be even cooler. Like, this is there. I think there's what 10 complete cargo systems in this. So yeah, this was when like the pack mule race was on the workshop. That was the thing for like a month. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, logistics! We need to get lots of cargo in one thing so people can move things." Jay Randall was like, "All right, I got this. We'll do 10."
Hold my beer.
Right? So yeah, definitely remember this one. It is a prefab. Is it still? I guess I could look, right? I'm literally in the game. Why am I not looking? I don't think it's there anymore. It was there. It was a prefab.
The other thing was he did this modularly, so you can actually put more of those storage bays in by using your cut and paste tool to sort of squeeze more.
Yeah, totally. Beautiful ship though. Beautiful ship. And a lot of function. You got a lot of space there for SV. So now we're going to look at Nainu's version. P. But you know what I mean. Uh-oh. What just happened there? That was nuts.
Oops.
Right? So it definitely got the Nainu paint job. Very cool. I love it, man. Like it's just funny, right? Like that's how great this game is. It's like I look at the J. Randall ship and I'm like, dude, That's some really nice color, man. Like, that looks amazing. Like, oh, I just love it. I wouldn't touch it. And then it's like, needs a little red. It's cool, but it needs to be painted. So it's so cool, man. Like, and there's no wrong answer, right? It's like, yeah, it's whatever you want. That's why there's a color tool, guys.
I like it because it's got go faster stripes.
So definitely got some extra spots there for more weapons if you want. Definitely some. So it doesn't look like this has the same. I guess even from the outside, it doesn't look like it has the same function as far as being a like a pack mule CV. Definitely some different shaping and stuff, but definitely kind of an ode to the overall scheme of the layout. But yeah, definitely a lot of changes in the shaping, which is really.
You can see he's got thrust management going on there as well. There's some thrusters that turned off all the way around the ship.
Yeah. Nice, some nice armor there with double hangar doors. Got some generators here. Got the core and so basic engineering here. Foot access. Living quarters. Ooh. You guys get bunks. You guys get the bunks. We were having this argument in Star Citizen last night too. We were like, I think me and Neuro were having this argument. Well, not an argument. I agreed with him, but he was like, "Why don't they have like cooler beds and like, you know, they just give you like a few basic beds." And we're talking about Star Citizen, but it's the same in Empyrion. It's like all we get is the like play school furniture. Let's get some better stuff. It's coming. I'm sure it's coming. Just like the armor locker and the O2 station and all that. Got the bridge here. Bit of information there with the LCDs. Common element purity. I knew subscribes from the same LCD magazine that I do. Oh God. Hold on, I'm scared. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, what's going on here? Why is this here? It's an unlock level 20. Ah. I don't see a medical station though, so I don't know if it's a trigger or if it's just. Ah, it hurts. What is this here for? Ah, that bothers me. That bothers. I don't see a reason why that's there. Nainu, why is that there? Nainu in stream? I don't know.
Thought he was in earlier.
Oh, that hurt, man. That hurt my head. Is that to annoy me? I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's not a whole trigger because I don't see a medic station. It's just like why do you have a unlock level 7 thing that doesn't do half what it could do? An unlock level 20 build. Like I don't get it. It hurts. It hurts.
There was a door going forward from that bit that you were just looking at where the trigger was. Is there anything through there?
Relive the trigger. Okay, let's do it. I'm strong. I can do this. I can find it. Where is it? Where am I?
Deck above.
Yeah. So, we're here.
Ah, no, it's an exit door. I could see it just as you went in there.
Ah, okay.
Go around the other side of where the shield is, there's a door, but that leads onto the front flight deck.
Shut up, Annie. So very cool, man. good. Yeah, I mean it's an unlock level 20, right? But I mean it's got a lot of room. It's got, you know, all the basic amenities, everything you kind of need here for the crew, and got the warp. It's got everything. I don't see any cargo in it though. Let me look here. Okay, so it has ore and wood boxes. Wow, 4. So it does have 4 complete cargo systems. I guess, did I miss like production or something? I didn't see any constructors or anything. I feel like I missed an area here. So there's a small constructors here and here. I don't see any like advanced constructors or anything. Wonder if he's kind of limited that function for a reason. Yeah, I don't see anything here. Oh, wait a minute. You were here, and I didn't see anything here either. So it doesn't look like he's got any advanced, no advanced constructors. Interesting. So yeah, I guess maybe this is just for like hauling. I mean, obviously it says ore and wood, right? So yeah, I'm guessing maybe it does have the same function. He just didn't lay it out the same way. So this is for, you know, hauling of ore and maybe like doing trading or something. I think Ninu does do multiplayer a bit, so maybe that has something to do with it. But yeah, all in all, really cool interpretation of the original Karen CH10 by Jay Randall. So good job, Ninu. That is Ninu with the OFP Quisitor. I don't know. Good read, right? All right.
I'm guessing it's Quisitor.
I'm guessing. There's a lot of vowels there. Vowels are kind of scary. All right. So our next build here is by Raptor. We're just gonna say Raptor. Eager Master. Captain. It's Raptor, guys. And this is the Unflinching Resolve. Damn, that's Unflinching Resolve. That's damn. Alright, buddy. And this is actually from a build that inspired me as well, by Nastral, which is the Lycorp Monsoon DDG. So XPA is a group of hardcore Empyrion PvPers who you know, like that's what they're all about, man. PvP. They do some really cool builds. You know, there's a group of them and everything, and they rub people the wrong way in a lot of ways, and whatever. You could say what you say, but they know their shit, dude. They know their stuff when it comes to PvP. And you know, I did reach out to them, and I wanted to learn a bit more about PvP, and they actually helped me out with a CV that I did purely for PvP. I haven't released it. I plan to at some point, but that's just been kind of cooking in my my blueprint thing here. But I definitely did look at this build as well and get some. So let's spawn that in here. Yeah, so build is, you know, purely PvP, right? So this does a lot of things. I won't go into all the details as to why this is laid out this way and what it does, but I will tell you that this thing can hold its ground for a very long time before you take this thing out in PvP gameplay. That's due to a lot of dummy tricks and stuff to try to trick the turrets and stuff to hitting things. It has all the weapons in the back so that they're the last thing targeted. I mean, there's a lot going in here. There's so many things just spaced. There's a lot of armor. I mean, there's just a lot going on here. Everything is just completely spaced out. A lot of internal thrusters, but everything's separated according to. And it looks like it is CPU compliant now, so it looks like he has elevated this up to Alpha 11. Pretty remarkable. So that's cool. That's promising. I like to see that they haven't completely given up because you came. So that's really cool that this is still functional. 11, but see things like this where these things are to be targeted before his actual weapons is what keeps this thing alive in the fight. And again, I learned a lot of this, this stuff for my build and everything. Now let's see what Raptor came up with here. Flinching.
While you're digging it out, I'll read the note. Jet Set, XCal must read the LCDs. See to it that it happens. They are very important. Thank you in advance.
Alright. I'm scared. So you can see right off the bat, Raptor's adopted a lot of the same strategy here. He's got all of his weapons kind of in an outward rear face. He's got a lot of stuff going on. Wow, look at that color. Whoa. Just look at the color. Jeez.
Can never be said again that Raptor doesn't build only in black.
Right? Holy crap. Quick question, is that SpaceX thing still up in the corner? Is it still SpaceX?
Yeah, still up there. Mr. Trump appears to be giving some sort of speech.
I forgot it was still up. I know it's a YouTube, official YouTube of the launch or whatever. But what if it just went to the next video and it was some random?
I don't know, it could get lucky. It could be a cat video.
Ah. On our way inside here.
Yeah, he didn't give me any clues about this, but he did say that you would struggle to find it.
I mean, I'm in God mode. What? Oh, you mean to find the actual door?
Yeah.
There we go. Damn it! Really? At least the room is really small. Could always count on Raptor to trigger me. Yeah, this is bad, man. Come on, it's like almost Alpha 12. You can't still be doing this, man. This can't still happen. Stop it. Oh. Hold on, hold on.
A brief pause. Not even a message from our sponsor. While XCal recovers himself a bit.
All right, I'm back. All right, so we got some advanced constructors here. Okay, let's read this. The LCDs are only here for the challenge. When I eventually release these ships to the workshop, they won't be in here. I haven't seen much around. COVID 19 too, because I don't feel like speaking. The ship takes the function out of the Lycourt Monsoon by Nastral and frame. It is in no way designed to be great looking, and it also designed to be an equal to the Monsoon. Now, I haven't tested it yet because I'm still working on a little bit better turret placement. And yes, this is a PvP ship. Sorry, it's not pretty enough for you, PvE guys. Oh, the passive aggressive shit. All right. Sorry, it's not. Yeah.
We can't see that.
Oh.
It's black to us.
I have no problem with others having the ship. The only problem is I have with others taking it is claiming it as their own ship. This ship is... Lycourt ships are also some of the best PvP ships around, and Astral has made a collection of ships that are certified by PvPL standards. Whoa. There's standards? Where are these standards? I need these standards. Somebody... Nastral, I need these standards. Message me standards. All ships in said collection are great ships, and I highly recommend downloading one of them if you wish to build a PvP ship in the near future. Thank you for reading these LCDs. I hope you get destroyed by this ship sometime in the near future. Something I didn't include above. You could tell Raptor like literally just freestyled this, right? Like he didn't even read back. He's just like, yeah, that's what I said. Something I didn't include above is one of the reasons I've been so quiet. I've been playing a lot of Rainbow Six Siege lately, and I'm current... Oh, I do feel like Ron Burgundy. Yeah, I feel like whatever you guys type on the teleprompter, I'm gonna read it, and I am not gonna say F San Diego. So, yeah. All right, Raptor. Raptor, man. Yeah. Raptor fashion, this big thing moves. So, you know, say what you want to say about Raptor, man, but every one of his builds performs. You know, it does its job. It's a different way to build in this game. It's a different way to play the game. He likes PvP. He likes building things that can withstand anything. And yeah, I think that's awesome, man. The Monsoon is a one of the best, if not the best, PvP CV out there. So it's definitely something really cool to pull from. And you know, out of respect for Raptor, I won't even like go into it and see, you know, where anything is. If you want to do that, it is on the workshop, so you can check that out if you want to see where where all his little dummy things and tricks are and all that. But I'll go ahead and leave that up to you guys. But yeah, very cool, man. The Unflinching Resolve by Raptor. Inspired by the Lycourt Monsoon DDG by now. Very cool, man. As always.
Like to add a slight addendum to that. It's not on the workshop. It's only in EPB, available in the challenge entries.
All right, there you go, guys. You can only get it on Discord. Links below. Keyboards and me. All right, guys. So that's gonna bring us to our next build here, and this is another first-time entry. This is by Koopa Tech, and this is a direct inspiration of Bone Dog's Seeker. Okay. Bam. Remember this little guy? He passed a workshop entry, I think. Or, I mean, a designer's challenge entry. Let's look at all the high level of detail here in this little thing. I want to say the LCD works new, though. I don't remember him doing that. Yeah, just a nice little SV Scout here by Bone Dog. Very cool. I like the color scheme. I like the high level of shaping detail and texturing. See what Koopa did here. Spubby.
Uh-oh.
Got it. Thrusters are off. Now, I will say for anybody new that's posting stuff on the workshop, a good, and I need to put out more videos for, I'm going to be putting out more tutorial videos and stuff. Like, I've long awaited, I've needed to put out one for how to post stuff on the workshop. But when you post something on the workshop, you definitely want to always have the engines on, the thrusters on. You want to have you want to have certain things on so that when a brand new player spawns it in, they don't freak out because it doesn't move. You gotta make it really simple for new players, to where like it right out the gate, like that thing moves, everything's on. You know, otherwise, yeah, they're gonna be like, oh, this doesn't work, I hate this thing, and you know, it's gonna be rough for them. So definitely, whenever you go to Alto, make sure that it's in the state that you want it to spawn in as, with the engines on, with, you know, power on, whatever, so that when they spawn it in, it works right out of the gate. But yeah, I definitely see a direct inspiration here. Very, very similar in shaping, but then with a lot different detail. There's some detail work here. Yeah, very, very, very similar here. Even as much as to say it's pretty much a replica. I mean, there's a little bit different stuff here, but yeah, it looks like very, very similar. A little bit of shaping here was different here with some of the curves and stuff. But yeah, you definitely love this thing, and you made your own version of it, which is pretty cool. Did a successful job at it here. So let's look at the cargo. 1500 cargo. Sits at a CPU class 1, so it's a tier 1 SV. It is a build from scratch, Annie. I did kind of subtly check that. So it is a scratch build, yeah. First thing I did. So because it's so much like it, right? Like, so he definitely reverse engineered this and built it himself over on this side here. So, and that's cool. And listen, that's how you learn. You know, this is a first time entry. Possibly a very new builder to Empyrion. So that's how you learn, guys. That's how I learned. You want to learn how to build, you tear other people's stuff up and see how they did things. So he must have literally taken this and, you know, reverse engineered it over here and made it his own, which is definitely cool. And, you know, you go through those steps and that process and you learn it, you know, and that goes for other games. Like I'm playing a lot of Scrap Mechanic lately. You guys know this, right? Most of you guys don't watch it. I'm not upset. I'm a little upset. No, I'm kidding. But like with the controller engines and the piston engines and stuff, there's a way to build those things to where you do it right. But unless you go through the motion of doing it yourself, you can't just read it and learn how to do it. Like you actually have to like get in there and get your hands dirty and go through the motions. And it teaches you basic motor function. It teaches you memory, you know, motor memory and stuff. And, you know, so it makes you a better builder. So you definitely got to put blocks on the starter block. You definitely got to get it going. And, you know, this is great. I like this. I promote this. You know, even if it's the exact same thing, And listen, there's things he didn't do. You know, there's this top part. There's some of these curves and stuff that he didn't do. He kind of blocked some of these things, which is fine. That's what he likes about it. Maybe he doesn't like the curvy aspects of this, and he made it his own, which is fine too. But yeah, this is how you learn. So you guys should be doing this. If you're new and you want to learn how to do things, you should do this. If you're not new, I do this still. I look at other people's work. I look at half your guys' work, and I go, wow, how did you do that? And I take it apart and I try to implement it into something I'm doing, and you know, that's how we all learn. So there's absolutely no shame in that. That's why we're doing this. That's why we have a community, so that we can be inspired by these challenges. And you know, I just made a month out of it, but this is every month. You know what I mean? I see it all the time. I see, like, you know, somebody puts out something one month, the next month I see aspects of this build in this build. And because you guys are all picking up these little things and you're implementing them into your own builds, and everybody's getting better across the board because of it. And you guys all, for the past year and a half, have gotten really good at building because of it. Not to say only because of it, but a part of it is what's made you guys better. So can you show me your builds? I mean, there's a lot of builds, man. I showed you earlier in the stream. You can view back after it. You can see my entry, which is the Chimera. But I'm actually going to be, and that's a good point. So in the near future here, maybe even tomorrow, I don't think tomorrow, but at some point within this next week, I'm going to be doing an episode of Excalibur's Garage, which is what I do every patch. So when there's a new patch, I'll do an Excalibur's Garage episode, and we'll revisit my entire workshop, and I'll see if there's anything that can be carried forward to the next patch. So we're going to be doing that in the next week here, and we're going to be looking at everything that I've done kind of recently and see if it's worth bringing up or if it's worth just doing something new. So we will be doing that stream soon. And honestly, just look for a lot more YouTube content. I'm trying to revive my YouTube page. It's horribly crippled and handicapped right now, and I need to get it back to... It's always been that way, but I'm trying to... I don't know. I'm trying to make the YouTube thing, because I think that's how a lot of people want to digest content, is YouTube more so than streaming. But I'm not gonna stop streaming. I'm just saying, like, I'm gonna be adding YouTube. The saber has to be... Oh God, I don't know, man. Maybe. All right, guys. Well, listen. I think that's gonna be it for this stream. Cause that's gonna be the last one there. I've completely lost my voice. I can barely talk at this point, so I don't want to give anybody a half of me for a build. You know, I want you guys to get all the shine here for these awesome. Next Saturday we're going to be doing the rest of these, and a lot of them are in Alpha 12, so it's going to be interesting. We're going to be doing these in Alpha 12, but yeah, guys, you guys did some legendary stuff today. There's some really amazing builds that were done. It's really cool. It's really cool to see what everybody's inspired by, and to go, oh yeah, that makes sense. I could see why he was inspired by him, or I can see him in you know, in this builder, and you know, really cool. And it was really cool to revisit some of these older builds. You know, I mean, there's some amazing builds that definitely needed some more shine. It's really cool, man. And yeah, like I said, dude, I had the time of my life building this thing this month. I can't wait to do some more stuff. We're gonna be doing a lot more building. Really looking forward to it. So shout out to everybody. Thanks for the resub, guys. I appreciate it. I hope everybody's doing good on a personal level. Those that are, you know, still in quarantine, those that aren't in quarantine but should be in quarantine. However you look at it, everything that's going on in the world, there's a lot of stuff going on, man. Earlier in this stream, we all viewed history, man. SpaceX launch, amazing, you know, just really cool, man. We're at a really really interesting time right now in the world. a lot of stuff going on, and I think it's really cool that we all have a place to kind of escape and enjoy ourselves in this game, and even other games. Some of you guys play other games with me and stuff. Most of you don't, and that's fine. Like, I'm not leaving Empyrion. We're going to continue to put out Empyrion content. We're putting out a lot of Empyrion. Really looking forward to it. Appreciate your guys' support as always. And also, I want to highlight last month, man. I don't feel like I even highlighted it enough, dude. We raised $1,000 for direct relief in our charity stream last month. That's amazing, man. That's amazing in this time when, people are losing their jobs, people are getting laid off, people are, it's hard to find work. You guys managed to scrape enough to get personal protective. And also just build some amazing stuff, man. It was a legendary stream. I can't say enough about it. Thanks again to you guys. Thanks to everybody for your continued support in streams, and look forward to seeing a lot more of you. Yeah, and we'll see what happens, guys. I mean, there's nothing off the table. If we bring back an Empyrion server, if we I don't know what there is ahead. I don't know what's gonna happen with the patch and whatnot, but you guys have stayed true every month. We've done this stream every month for, what has it been, 16 months, 15 months at least. So let's just keep it up, and we'll just add more, man. Like I said, designer spotlight, YouTube let's play, Twitch stream let's play, so it's going to be both. Weekly workshop review, where I take things off the workshop and we look at them and review them. I'm also doing going to be doing a special Patreon spotlight, where my Patreon supporters, you guys are going to get to give me a build that you want me to show, and I'll be doing YouTube episodes based off of that. We're going to be doing one straight away from Annie Noam. Look for that in the coming week. And anybody that's a Patreon supporter of mine, you guys just DM me an entry, and we'll make a video that you want me to show my appreciation for your guys' continued Patreon support, which is honestly, like, my Patreon supporters, you guys literally pay my internet bill, which is $250 a freaking month. Sucks because I live in a third world country and it's freaking expensive. My internet sucks. So like, literally, you guys keep the lights on. I couldn't stream without you guys. So I appreciate it from the. Yeah, look forward to that. My voice is 100% completely gone. We're going to get a raid on, so I'm not even going to go to the next screen. We're just going to get a raid on. So yeah, it's $250 and it's horrible. I get like 20 megs down and like 12 megs up. It's like it's bad, man. It's cellular, so it's not even like fixed internet. It's like cellular internet. Oh, it's really bad, man. Wow, we got a guy, French guy, doing 77 viewers right now, man. That's epic. We're gonna get somebody here that's only got 6. I like that, man. I like supporting these small streamers that are small view streamers here that are introducing into Empyrion. Cool. Mr. Farside. All right, guys, give them some support. Let them know where you came from, and yeah, let's get into the raid, guys. I'm excited. I'll see you guys on the next stream. Pay attention to Discord. I'm going to be announcing a lot of stuff coming up, so definitely pay attention, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next couple months in a lot of Empyrion. Take care, guys.